Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Corky?
Testing 1 2 3 1 2 3 testing.
How's it sound, fellas? Corky sounds clearer. Why is that? Do we have the same volume? It might just be the mic. He's using a different mic than I am. Why don't you say a few words to the people?
Hey peeps, how y'all doing? It's gonna be a great game today, man. I'm excited. Are y'all fired up?
One more test. Testing 1 2 3. Corky?
Testing 1 2 3 1 2 3 test.
Yeah. how are you? Do you want to get some lunch? I was thinking about getting some lunch.
You know, actually,
Sandwich if you want. I was thinking Dirk's Deli, yum. Or maybe some pizza, Hawaiian, pineapple, and ham. Aloha. Or maybe we should do a salad. I probably should. I should just do a salad. Yes, so do you want to get some lunch or maybe just another cup of coffee?
No.
Or an espresso. Ooh, espresso. So good.
There are thousands of ways into the complex healthcare system, including adverse effect of caffeine. That's why United Healthcare has health and nutrition videos. Find them at uhc.com.
And there's the team's mascot, a hawk named Gracie.
Marvelous creature.
She's flying down to the 50-yard line when she's turned and gone after her fan's popcorn.
Oh, gorgeous talons.
That fan does not want to let go. That is one persistent bird.
Angry, too.
There are thousands of ways into the complex healthcare system, including contact with birds. Wild.
That's got to hurt.
So majestic.
And United Healthcare has ways to make the system simpler, like an urgent care locator to find the closest clinic. Learn more at uhc.com.
The following is a special presentation of the Simulation Football League.
Touchdown, Minneapolis! No way! Right back to throw. Right in trouble. Throws it back. And it's returned. 10, 5, touchdown Orlando! Welcome to Baltimore, Maryland, in Wayland Corporate Field. It's the SFL Championship game, and it's on now. The SFL Network on Twitch. Bringing the punch. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Kevin Irvine, alongside San Antonio Corky. The Maulers and the Intimidators. The name is finally here. Welcome to the booth, Corky.
Thank you for having me, Cam. This is going to be a major game today, especially with the expansion coming up.
We expect to have a little bit of an echo because of the two mics vibrating off of each other. Please let us know if you have any technical difficulties. We should have nothing like we had the last game, as we believe we've resolved those issues. Here we go. If you have a bad echo, make sure that you don't have two windows on.
Heads it is. Real kick. The Intimidator.
As long as the echo's slight,
It's electric.
we're going to be all right. Don't you worry about it. We're about ready to begin. Orlando's going to start this game by kicking off to Minneapolis. From Wayland Corporate Field in Baltimore, the SFL Championship is underway. From the goal line, Minneapolis is Kaleka on the return. Sidesteps the man and gets out to the 24. Corky, what are your plays to the game?
I'm excited to see what Orlando is going to do to try to slow down this Mauler offense. Now, you can't stop it, but you surely you can slow it down. So I'm excited to see what adjustments the Intimidators made to get that done.
Minneapolis is in the all reds because I forgot to change the uniform. Yellow helmets, yellow jerseys. Red jerseys, red pants with yellow numbers. And they start with three wide receivers at the top of the screen, and Marconi will drop the throw. And Marconi will fire to the outside, and the non-star running back unable to turn the corner. That's a 2-yard loss, and a good start for the Intimidator defense.
That was pretty promising. I mean, it looked like Orlando was in a man defense then, and they had everybody covered pretty tight. Of course, Orlando has Woods and Lacoste. They're two premier corners, man, and this is going to be exciting to see what Marconi can do against that defense.
Second down, 12 of the 23. Three receivers to the left-hand side. Marconi's out of the shotgun with 5 in the box, and Marconi will drop the throw, will fire down the middle of the field. That pass is caught in traffic, and moving the chains is number 19, wide receiver James Cooley for the first down of today's championship game.
Man, Cooley's going to be tough to stop, especially he ran so many post patterns against the Legends. It was just ridiculous. So let's see what Orlando can do. The game still has a long way to go.
We're trying to move away from each other. That's causing your echo as both mics are picking up each other's voices. That pass is caught. There is a penalty. That is a first down for the Maulers. That's Marcus Campbell. Let's check the flag.
I think we have holding.
Holding, number 74, offense, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat, first down.
Got to keep your hands to yourself, Coda.
We'll try to talk a little bit quieter so that we don't get picked up on the echo. I really do believe that's why we're getting it, because my voice is not only going in my mic but his mic as well. We have mics on our opposite ears. Hopefully it's not too bad, guys, because to my knowledge everything is as best as it can be. As Marconi swings it outside, that pass is caught, and first down at 20. Loss of running room, a 14-yard pickup. That's Ionosho Abarazabo, and it brings up second down and 6, and that was much needed for Minneapolis.
Yeah, Abarazabo he's going to be also tough to handle for Orlando. But for Orlando, all they need to do is get some stops here and there, and they could still be in the game.
Second down and 6 from the 39-yard line. 3 wide receivers and 2 backs in the backfield. Marconi will drop to throw. A deep drop back. Marconi fires down the middle of the field. The pass is caught. Wide open. Abarazabo to foot race. 10-5 touchdown. Minneapolis in the first 2 minutes of the game.
Marconi caught Orlando in a blitz then.
What an excellent throw from Rocco Marconi. That time he stepped up in the pocket. And Abarazabo just too quick.
And if I must say it, Mama, there goes that man.
Maulers 6, Orlando nothing in the first couple of minutes. And T-Pat apparently expected Orlando to come out in some man defense, and the Maulers get a touchdown on the opening play. The extra point is nearly blocked, but it's good. And the Maulers, as expected, come out firing on all cylinders. Minneapolis 7, Orlando nothing.
Now here's what Orlando can't afford to do. They can't afford to get down by 2 or 3 scores. They need to answer in kind on this possession.
Thanks for the comments, Del Monte 30. I appreciate that. Again, please don't feel like you can't update us on the echo situation. We want to make sure if it gets bad or if it gets worse or if it gets better. So please let us know what we can do. If we can turn down the game volume for you. It's a little bit of an experiment with 2 mics in close proximity. So any help would be appreciated. No problem on our end. What does Orlando have to do here on this opening drive?
Zach attack. And more Zach attack. And they need to have some kind of ball control, but they definitely need to score. At least a field goal.
Do you think that they need to have some element of passing? I mean, do they need to stay balanced here today as Matsumoto's pass is hard to run the field for 3?
I would say they're fine just staying balanced. As long as the game doesn't get out of hand, I would say just do what they normally do, run Zach Parker, and continue to and throw to his favorite guy, Allen, and run clock and score.
Second down and 7 from the Orlando 29. And the handoff goes to Parker around the left-hand side. Gets some nice blocks, breaks a tackle, and gets a first down to the 43. The first big run of the day for Zach Parker comes on Orlando's second play, and that's exactly what the doctor ordered.
And that's what I've noticed about the Maulers this year is that in some cases they have had problems with the run.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line. 3 receivers, 2 to the left-hand side. And the throw to the outside is nearly intercepted. Lorenzo Allen was the intended receiver. Well played by the corner. Marcus Dorsett, second down.
Not sure you want to tempt fate like that. Marcus Dorsett is not, he's not chopped liver.
What do you think is the biggest stat of this game that's going to make the difference?
Time of possession.
Really? Now, I mean, Minneapolis doesn't. I guess they do possess the ball some, but
they can't.
On Orlando's side, do you mean?
Yeah, on Orlando's side, Orlando needs to have a huge number insofar as possession, because if they've got the ball, Minneapolis doesn't.
Second down 10 at the 43-yard line. Two receivers as Montemuro drops to throw, and he is going to be sacked. A 7-yard loss. That's exactly what Orlando needs to avoid. Third and long, 3rd and 17 to be exact.
Yeah, that's a crusher there to start the game out, but it's manageable. It's manageable. So they still need to stay the course. Don't panic.
Third down 17 with 9:37 to go in the opening quarter as Matsumoto will throw it deep or attempt to. Hit as he threw. The pass is caught, but it's short of the first down. Caught by a non-star receiver, the Mauler 49-yard line. 4th and 2. And Billy Joe Gatlin makes the stop in Orlando this early is probably going to have to punt the football.
Now, the fact that they have to punt, you would ordinarily say, oh, that's bad for them. But now they can play the field position game. That also plays into this as well. Yes, Minneapolis can strike quick, but it gives Orlando some play in their play calling defensively.
So 4th down and 2. Orlando is going to have to punt it away on their first possession. Not the way the Intimidators wanted to start this football game, as the punt is going to bounce to the 12-yard line, and Kaleka will spin away from one and get smacked down at the 16-yard line, and that's where the Maulers will start their second drive.
That was one of those slap the taste out your mouth hits.
Starting lineup for the Minneapolis Mauler offense. Quarterback number 5, a gold, Rocco Marconi. Wide receiver number 19, a gold, James Cooley. Silver, wide receiver number 11, Ayanojo Abarazzo. Bronze, wide receiver number 84, Donald Miller. Bronze, tight end number 42, Marcus Campbell. Marconi back to pass as Marconi will be sacked back at the 9-yard line. An 8-yard loss. And we were talking about this during the pregame, Corky, that Rocco Marconi does not get sacked often, and when you can get pressure on him, it makes a difference.
Yeah, but a lot of times, though, even though you get pressure on him or you sack him, he just goes deep downfield, so Orlando will have to be conscious of that.
Second and 18 back at the 9, Orlando jumps offside. Free play, it's going to be another sack. So a big missed opportunity there, and we've talked in the past about Marconi's ability to make teams jump offsides, the best in the league.
Right. Yeah, he's a master at that. He's almost a wizard.
Second down 13 instead of about a 3rd and a 21. Big break there for the Maulers, and another good job as Lennox jumped offside by Marconi.
I like the tone of the Orlando defense so far. Let's see how long they can keep that up, though.
They didn't want to get beat, and they got beat on that first possession. I'm sure they're disappointed about that. I formation, 3 receivers, 2 to the top of the screen as Marconi goes deep. He nearly sacked. That pass is caught by one hand. That is Abarazzo making a pretty play at the 18-yard line. Only a 5-yard gain that forced a 3rd down.
Yeah, see, and that's what Orlando needs to do. Keep the receivers in front of them. As long as, limit their yards after catch. As long as they can keep them in front of them, they're going to do well in this game.
3rd down and 8 from the 18. Already coming up on 7.5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. 7-0 Maulers. They have a trip set to the right-hand side. And that pass, the outside is caught. A 5-yard gain, but the tackle is going to be made short of the first down. And it almost took me a little while to figure out that Orlando just forced a punt.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. They need to get 2 or 3 stops in this game, as well as to work their offensive magic with Zach Parker, and they'll be in this game right there at the end.
I can't even remember the last time Minneapolis had to punt in a first quarter.
I didn't even know they had a punt.
From the 42, Orlando a pretty decent return up to the 46-yard line, 6:50 to go in the first quarter. And if anyone tried to win the $100 by saying that a team would have 16 points with 8:50 to go in the first quarter, sorry, you're out. Hope everyone got their predictions in. Could have won Joe Montana mousepad t-shirt. We thank Damon Groh, who's in and out of the chat at the moment, currently in meetings, for his contribution to the league, and appreciate Joe Montana football's involvement with the SFL. They come out a tight set with 2 backs in the backfield. The handoff is going to go to Parker on the left-hand side. He's going to be smacked down by Jeb Gatlin. A 1-yard loss for Zach Parker. The first negative play of the day for number 35.
Gatlin is one of the non-star really all-star players. He's kind of a diamond.
I checked that actually. The Gatlin brothers from Minneapolis are actually stars with the bronze.
Oh, okay.
But there is a non-star Gatlin in the game. I understand the confusion. Strike one for Corky. Strike three, I'd throw him out the window. Second and 11 from the 46 out of the shotgun. Matsumoto back to throw. Matsumoto going to need to go down the middle of the field. That pass caught by Gunner. First down to the 38-yard line. First big passing play of the day for Matsumoto, who's in his first championship game.
Yeah, Matsumoto's not what you would call. He's not in Rocco Marconi territory, but he does manage the game. And if he can do that today, Orlando may surprise us.
Starting lineup for the Orlando Intimidators on offense. Silver, quarterback number 3, Ono Matsumoto. Gold, number 35, running back, Zach Parker. Silver, number 44, wide receiver, Lorenzo Allen. Bronze, number 89, wide receiver, Thomas Gunner. Bronze, number 36, tight end, Isaac Perez. First and 10 from the Mauler, 38-yard line, as Matsumoto drops the throw into the I formation, and Matsumoto will pass short. That pass is caught by Gunner, 5-yard gain. Second and 5 at the 33.
They caught him in the blitz. Yeah, Matsumoto, when he's on, he's on.
Matsumoto this year, a pretty decent season. His quarterback rating was 86.6, and if you look at Matsumoto's career, that is a career high. So he has had a pretty decent year here in Orlando. On the 7-5 33, they handed off to Parker, and that was the wrong way to run. Parker runs into a blitz from Austin Broadway, the Bronze Star linebacker for the Maulers, and it's 3rd and 7. 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, Matsumoto was fairly efficient at 67%, but he only had 14 touchdowns.
3rd down and 7 at the 34. I'm sure Zach Parker sucked away some touchdowns.
Oh, yes, definitely.
3 receivers to the short side right, top of the screen. It'd be a 51-yard field goal from here with Franklin Reese. We know he can hit it. Back to pass, Matsumoto is going to step into the pocket, fires, caught. Allen, first down at the 25. What a beautiful job by Matsumoto to step up, take a shot, and move the chains.
That was almost like a Stephen Curry three-pointer. I didn't even have to look to see who he's throwing to. I knew it was going to Allen.
Did you see that shot Steph Curry made on Anthony Davis?
Oh, yes.
Yesterday, he hit the top of the backboard. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, he's daredevil.
I bet Marconi could have done it, though.
Oh, yeah, he probably could have.
First and 10 from the 25. Matsumoto swings it out right-hand side. Pass caught for a 4-yard gain. And Parks on the reception. He's made a couple of grabs here in the first quarter. And an important note is that Matsumoto is keeping the clock moving not only with handoffs to Parker, but with completions in the middle of the field.
And this is what I was saying what was part of the keys to victory for them is to keep that clock running and to just march it downfield. Eat clock.
Second down and 6 from the 21-yard line. Minneapolis 7 and Orlando nothing. 2 backs in the backfield. Allen on the screen, guarded by Dorsett, his former teammate. As Matsumoto's sidearm throw out of the outside is incomplete, according to the officials, as Gunner was ruled out of bounds. And do we see a challenge there or not?
From the angle, I couldn't really tell. So
we're going to get a challenge. 3rd down and 6. He needs 1 foot inbounds.
Right.
And then 2 feet for the end zone and 1 foot for the rest of play. At least that's what we believe.
Yeah, if they get this first down, this game, the complexion of this game will totally change.
Let's take a look at this. That was a crazy pass from Matsumoto, nearly sacked. That's really close.
That's a catch.
That's a catch?
I think it's a catch.
After review, the pass has been ruled complete.
There we go.
The catch was made
first
prior
down.
to going out
There
of
we
bounds.
go.
The Intimidators will not be charged with a timeout. First down.
So the Intimidators win a challenge here in the first quarter. And that's a big one. First and 10 from the 12. And the Mauler fans who have traveled to Baltimore, both teams are about, I guess Minneapolis would be a little closer to Baltimore. I'd say about 65-35. First and 10 from the 12. Matsumoto's going to go to the end zone. The pass getting caught for a touchdown.
And I know
Lorenzo Allen with one hand. His left hand scores. Here's another look at it.
Odell Beckham III.
Koma Kaleka nearly came over to make the hit, but Lorenzo Allen makes the catch, and Orlando has bounced back with a stop and a touchdown.
And they've done exactly what they needed to do, and man, I can't wait to see what happens when Minneapolis gets the ball back. because their defense so far has shined, except with of course with the exception of that long pass for a touchdown.
Herschel Biggs, our audio has a little bit of an echo to it because we have two mics in close proximity. There's not much we can do about it as long as you can understand what we're saying, and as long as it's you're able to still enjoy a fantastic day of SFL Championship football. Stick around, spread the word. If it was just me on the mic, we wouldn't have any of these issues, but then we wouldn't have Corky in.
They're probably saying, well, get rid of Corky.
From the goal line, Minneapolis on the return. To only the 19-yard line, and Franklin Reese helps with that field position because he's that star kicker.
Right. He's Mr. Automatic. I think he's missed one field goal in 3 years.
Gage DeGamer, the New York Knights defeated the San Francisco Bulldogs in last year's championship, 22-20 on a safety in the final 2 minutes. And we must say, the 16th point contest is the 16th point scored by a specific team, not the 16th point total scored in the game. So a team, all on their own, has to get past 16 as far as the way that contest is worded. That's a 6-yard gain for Cooley, and it's 2nd and 4.
Looks like Marconi might be trying to make some kind of adjustments to from the last series, because Orlando ran a lot of man and blitzed on like 2 of the 3 plays.
2nd down and 4 from the Minneapolis 25. 3 receivers in that I formation for Marconi. Going to take a deep drop back. The blitz is picked up, and the pass is caught in double coverage by James Cooley for a Mauler first down to the Orlando 46.
That's Cooley's favorite pass, but he caught him in a delayed blitz. And they're going to have to get there just a little bit faster for Marconi, because he has one of the fastest releases in the league.
I don't think full-on screaming into the mic would help. Under 3 minutes to go, the Maulers have crossed midfield. They go 3 wide receivers to the top of the screen, and Marconi drops the throw. Pump fake, swing out to the outside. Caught by Alvarazzo, and he will be dragged down after a 7-yard gain. 2nd and 3 for Minneapolis, just outside of field goal range. Alvarazzo, yet another catch.
Yeah, we haven't. What I'm surprised is that we haven't heard much out of Woods and Lacoste.
That Orlando starting defense, cornerback Silver, number 26, Rodney Woods, bronze, number 47, corner, A.J. Lacoste, gold, inside linebacker, number 92, Stephen Lambert, and bronze, number 90, defensive end Jasper Lennox. Flip out to the halfback. A nice play from Minneapolis. Don't get a lot from the running backs in Minnesota, but that moves the chains and Minneapolis into field goal range. Nice little flip. First down, Maulers.
Yeah, I don't think that's something that Rocco wants to do, but I think Orlando's forcing his hand.
Orlando 7, Minneapolis 7. 3 receivers in the pattern. Alvarazzo bottom of the screen as Marconi drops to throw against another blitz. He's in trouble. He avoids a sack. He throws it deep down the field. The pass is caught for a touchdown. Alvarazzo, and that was all Marconi avoiding the blitz.
Wow.
And getting the ball out of his hands. What a beautiful throw.
Talk about some quick feet there. I don't know how he avoided that rush.
Describe what you're seeing here out of Alvarazzo's route.
Oh, Alvarazzo, I mean, it's pretty much the same route that Cooley runs. It's that stemmed post pattern. It's extended, and it just caught him in the wrong coverage.
Orlando should have had that sack. That was a very nice pressure on the quarterback that Marconi doesn't move away. That's a sack, and we haven't seen that out of Marconi. This year, he hasn't had to.
No, he hasn't, and that's a credit to Marconi, because he made that play.
Extra point is good. 1:56 to go in the first quarter. It's the Maulers 14 and the Intimidators 7. You're watching the SFL Championship game on the SFL Network on Twitch.
So, what does Orlando do? The same thing they did the last drive. Don't panic. Come back out. Little Zach here, little Allen here, and just maintain.
Hero 1504 because it's a lot of fun. That's why. From the 10, Orlando on the return. From the 25, past the 30, and up to the 32. We hope you stick it around and give it a chance. First down, Intimidators. So the first quarter's nearly come to a close. By the way, that was the 16th point of this ball game. Minneapolis getting over the 14, or I'm sorry, I tricked myself. They're 2 points away from that 16-point mark and winning somebody $100.
Oh.
Yeah, I tricked myself. I said that Masamoto banked the pass. The pass is caught again in the field of play. A gain of 7 to the tight end, number 36, Isaac Perez. And almost all of Orlando's passes have been in the field of play in order to not stop the clock. It's pretty brilliant, actually.
Oh, it is. I mean, Orlando is running, I guess you could say, sort of a West Coast offense.
90 seconds to go in the first quarter. Second down and 3 from the 39-yard line. The expansion announcement, the All-Star announcements, the MVP announcement is coming up at the half as Zach Parker gets a big lane and gets another first down for Orlando to the 46-yard line. Billy Joe Gatlin on the tackle. And what we're seeing right now is if you can stop the Maulers once a quarter and you give yourself a shot. It's what happens is when you can't stop Minneapolis for 4, 5, 6 drives in a row, you just can't win that way.
And not only that, when you can't stop them, you can't generate any offense on your own.
Under a minute to go, and a heavy set with 2 backs in the backfield. They hand it off around the right side to Parker. He picks up a block. He will not get away. Look at all the Maulers swarming to the ball as Parker comes up shy of midfield.
But even though it was only a 3-yard gain, that's pretty much what Orlando wants to do. Because think about it, if you get 3 yards the first 2 plays, that makes it manageable third down.
Minneapolis' defense includes Austin Broadway, bronze linebacker number 55. The corner is number 42, Marcus Dorsett, as Parker's going to get the handoff and pick up 3, just as you said. Corky, other starters, silver strong safety, number 49, Billy Joe Gatlin. Silver free safety, number 25, Koma Kaleka. And I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting anybody. Jeb Gatlin is the other one, number 52, at outside linebacker. And Zach Parker's run will set up a 3rd down and 4 at the end of quarter number 1. Minneapolis 14, Orlando 7. This is the SFL Championship game on the SFL Network on Twitch. We'll be right back after these messages.
My favorite actor? Oh, that's easy. Kevin Bacon, obviously. His best movie is probably a tie between all of them. I do a Kevin Bacon impression. This valley's just one long smorgasbord. They're under the ground. It's Tremors. It's of me and Kevin. I've never actually met him. I had it commissioned. Am I obsessed with Kevin Bacon? I don't know. Obsessed is a strong word. I think I'm a devoted fan. And you know, the Logitech review is just perfect for me because I just type in Kevin Bacon and it uses Google TV, finds all kinds of movies and shows and YouTube videos. So let's just say I happen to be in the mood for, I don't know, a movie about a rebellious teen who's living in a town where dancing is illegal. There it is. Let's dance! Yeah, my wife says if I watch any more Kevin Bacon, I might actually turn into Kevin Bacon.
Add Google TV to your television with the Logitech Review. If you can think it, you can watch it.
Landed Rockstar Parking, got fueled up, raided the rack, wrestled some hangers, perfected a pie, had a crush on a bag. Tried on jeans. Gained 5 pounds, got baby fever, got touched up, got prim and proper. Passed on the right, met a girl's best friend. Learned something, made something, tried something. Shoes, scarves, shades, more shoes. Screamed some more. Caught a chick flick, met some guys, ditched some guys, laughed it off, found a great booth, and recapped the best day ever.
Mall of America.
Always new.
Mr. Goodbar for the lady, my good man.
What's in good taste one year is out the next.
I presume you undoubtedly have a delectable Mr. Goodbar.
But what's always in good taste is what always tastes good.
Like wow, like Mr. Goodbar.
Like crunchy peanuts and creamy chocolate.
Wow,
Which is why, billions of Mr. Good bars later, one thing's still true. Good peanuts and good chocolate make a very good bar.
Good bar, Muffy.
Great bar, Skip.
Come in and use your Starbucks gift card any day through January 5th for a chance to win Starbucks for life.
It's 3rd down and 4 from the Minneapolis 48-yard line for Orlando. Their 2 receivers are to the far side right, and Matsumoto's pass in the middle is caught. A diving attempt made by, I believe, Austin Broadway to knock the ball away. No, actually, Broadway had the tackle, so it must have been a different linebacker, maybe Gatlin, but the pass is caught for 1st down. What a throw.
Man, I'm blown away by what Orlando has been able to do so far.
We look at the stats at the end of the 1st quarter. Marconi is 10 of 10. Matsumoto is now 10 of 11. Ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
Matsumoto back to throw. He will not make it 11 for 12. A rare bad throw.
Right.
Collette was the intended tight end, I believe, and he just overthrew him. Got a little too excited with the space he saw to the outside.
Yeah, that would have gone for a few yards had he been able to complete it.
2nd and 7 at the Mauler 39. Minneapolis 14, Orlando 7. Still waiting to see who will win the $100. As Matsumoto's pass is deep and incomplete. Lucky it was not taken away. Lane knocks it away, and for a rare time in this game, it's a 3rd and 10, and Matsumoto has missed more passes in the 2nd quarter than he did all of the 1st.
Yeah, now, he completed a long pass, I believe the last drive, but it came up short insofar as the 1st down was concerned. Let's see if he can duplicate that pass.
3rd down and 10 at the 39. He's going to go 4 wide receivers as Matsumoto with Parker in the backfield. It'd be an interesting play to run here. There's not a lot of people in the box, but Matsumoto's going to throw on a 3rd down and 10, and Matsumoto's got a lot of time, but he's running out of time, and he's going to fumble the football, and Orlando is going to jump on it. It takes him out of field goal range, but the important thing is not a turnover. Right. What a play by the Maulers.
But we've seen this from Matsumoto before, where he just takes a tad too long in the pocket and on his reads.
So the Maulers, Ben, they don't break on that drive, and Orlando's going to have to punt it away and hope they get a defensive stop, because when you start to fall behind by 2 or 3 touchdowns against this team, that's when you get in some trouble.
Right.
This punt is going to bounce at the 4, at the 3, and bounce backwards to the officially 3-yard line. What a punt. And that is going to pin the Maulers back deep in their own territory, and that helps the Intimidators out.
And here we go, that field position game I was talking about. This plays into Orlando's hands. Of course, Minneapolis, being the fast break offense they probably could care less about field position.
1st and 10 at the 3. Can Orlando garner some pressure? 3 receivers with a split backfield for Marconi under center. He will drop to throw. A deep drop back. He's in trouble. He's going to step up in the pocket, and the pass is caught at the... No, he dropped it. What a hit by A.J. Lacoste. Hit of the game so far. Wow, actually, not Lacoste. That was the non-star coming over to help.
That was a fantastic hit. But again, Marconi under pressure. He's avoiding pressure. He's making his reads, and he's able to go downfield. And had it not been for that hit, that would have been a completion.
He's really stepping up in the pocket rather well today. 2nd and 10 from the 3. Trips to the left-hand side. Marconi just barely got it away. Nice grab, and he stayed in bounds too. What a play by the non-star back to get up to the 6-yard line.
Both teams have come to play today. I mean, they're playing like this is a championship game.
That was a tough catch to make.
Very tough.
And to be able to stay in bounds and not have that be a negative play.
The ball was behind him, and he maintained his balance to keep it in bounds.
What a job. 3rd and 7 from the 6. As Marconi drops to throw, he'll flip it. Oh, what a beautiful ball to James Cooley for a first down to the 17. Marconi could not have thrown it any better.
He's really on today. Orlando is going to have to do something to disrupt his timing, because once he gets in the zone, it's almost impossible to get him out of it.
Abarazzo, 5 catches for 118 yards. Nearly had a bunch more on that catch. Terrific play by that non-star safety. A late blitz. Marconi goes down the field. There's a penalty marker late. And that could be holding. That could be roughing the passer. Not quite sure. Did you see anything?
No, I didn't see anything. I'm not sure where the flag came from.
Looks like it's coming back again.
Number 74, up in, half the distance to the ball.
So we're watching the Orlando Intimidators. Go ahead.
No, I'm number 74 again. Holding.
Oh, it's the same player.
Same player.
I didn't catch that. Coda. And 1st and 19 now. That's the 2nd time on a first down that Minneapolis has been called for holding. And do you think it's just because they're not used to teams putting pressure?
Oh, exactly. I mean, Orlando is putting more pressure than they've seen all year.
1st and 19 at the 9, and again, some more pressure, but the pass over the middle of the field is caught. Is that Albarazzo again? You better believe it. This guy is having a very good first half of work, while James Cooley stays a bit quiet, gain of 13.
Yeah, I believe Albarazzo has had one deep pass, but primarily he's working underneath, and I mean, he is working it.
So 2nd down and 6 from the 21-yard line.
Man
defense as Marconi drops the throw. Another deep drop back and another blitz, and that pass is knocked away. Coming over just late, and Marconi looks like he can't believe it. It's another 3rd down for Minneapolis. James Cooley was the intended receiver. And was that Rodney Woods coming in to knock that away? Yes, it was.
Mr. Woods, he might want to temper how he tests Mr. Woods. He led the league in interceptions. And I believe he also led in passes defense.
Yeah, 6 interceptions for Rodney Woods. We're trying to get the PD numbers. Woods here. It's a 3rd down and 6. That's a first down, and unfortunately, my apologies, I missed the play. But it's a 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line, and that is can you believe it, the first catch for Donald Miller today.
Nice slant route.
I wish I could tell you that you were right about Rodney Woods leading the league in passes defended, but he's not even close. That's strike 2. You're going to get thrown out the window.
Oh, no.
You sound really scared about that. 1st and 10 at the 31, and Marconi's going to go deep, and that pass is off the hands of the intended receiver. That was Abarazzo, and I'm not quite sure if that got knocked away or if he just dropped it. 2nd and 10.
I'm going to say it got knocked away. He very rarely drops passes.
Abarazzo, little guy going up the middle. It's incredible what he's done and how he's stayed healthy.
Yeah, he's so precise in his route running.
204 yards in the first half, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions for Marconi. The Maulers lead 14-7 in the SFL Championship game on Twitch. 3 receiver set, 2 to the left-hand side. Marconi drops to throw. Marconi against another blitz and another hold. Another hold that was thrown by the official. That is the 3rd holding penalty, and Minneapolis' offensive line is not responding well at all to these blitz packages.
No, they're running a delayed blitz, and I'm wondering if it's Coda again.
71, I believe that's somebody different on the line. And it has been a long time since we've seen 3 holding calls and a half on the same team in this league. That's why you play the game, right, Corky?
Right, exactly. But like I said, this is pressure that Minneapolis hadn't seen all year. Man defense again.
Second down 20 from the 21. Four receivers. Marconi back to pass, pump fake. Now he goes deep down the field. The pass is, he fumbled it. Oh man, they said he caught it and fumbled it out of bounds for a first down. And how can you call this a catch here? Looking at it again. Well,
okay, it was a catch.
Yeah, that was a catch and fumble. That was a great job by the official on the side of the field to see that Obratsbo made a football move. And a great catch again by Obratsbo. He moves the chains.
Right, and the pass was pretty, it was defended fairly well.
First and 10 of the 47. Three receivers and two backs in the backfield with four out linemen. And the Marconi pass is not going to be. Another sack for Orlando. A loss of 7 yards. And that is Dwayne Saylor with the TFL as well.
Saylor is also a good non-star, maybe?
Yeah, you got that one right. Second down and 17 from the 40. And look at this press coverage here by Orlando. Empty backfield, 5 wide receivers. Oh, he nearly got a sack. Marconi got away. The pass is incomplete. Wow, what a job again by Marconi in the pocket. And the MVP candidate is proving entirely for a different reason why he's been so good.
Oh, he's playing like this is a championship game. And would you say he wants this one? He wants this pretty badly.
I mean, you want to talk about, can you imagine getting handed the keys to an offense? First of all, getting paid $5 million a year and getting handed the keys to the offense and saying you can do everything you want.
I'd take that job.
I think everyone would take that job. 3rd and 17 from the 40. And Marconi's going to go deep, and the pass is incomplete. And that is another defensive stop for Orlando. And we would have to look back at the record books, but that might be the first time this season the Maulers have had to punt twice in the first half.
They're going to have to ice the punter's leg down. I mean, this is his second punt. He hadn't had to do this all year.
This might need some ice.
Right.
Whoa, you got to bring your A game to play with me.
4th down and 17, 7:55 to go in the second quarter. Snap, a little bit off target, but fielded cleanly as Orlando will return from the 20-yard line. And Orlando up to the 24 with 7:47 to go in the first half.
This has been a pretty brisk first half.
And it's interesting, you know, we really haven't heard a lot of Zach Parker. It almost feels like Minneapolis has been on the field longer than Orlando. But you just don't get the sense of it.
No, you don't.
All those penalties. First and 10 at the 24. Three receivers set. The handoff goes to Parker. And Parker, oh boy, just almost got away. Nice tackle by Broadway.
Yeah, I might want to point out to the viewers that Parker is a back that just gets stronger and stronger as the day goes on.
Second down 7. Engelberger has 2 sacks for Minneapolis. He forced that fumble too that Orlando recovered. We've seen a little bit of loose hands here today with 3 backs in the backfield. They're going to flip it out to Parker for the first time today, and Parker cannot make the double team miss on the outside. Jed Gatlin on the tackle. It's 3rd and 6. Great pursuit.
Now, Minneapolis's defense is pretty good. I mean, insofar as what they've had to do this year, because they're not on the field, too long.
Still waiting for a team to score their 16th point. If you guessed late in regards to that $100, you're getting closer and closer to being a winner. Matsumoto, a terrible looking throw. He threw that into triple coverage, and this is what kills teams. A 3 and out will flip field position. It's 4th down.
Yeah, I don't really understand that throw. I'm not sure what he was looking at.
And a wobbly pass too.
Of course, it did touch the receiver's hands. He should have caught it.
4th down and 6 at their own 28. So Minneapolis is going to end up with their best field position of the game. And we could look back at those 3 plays. I mean, do you like the play call there on those 3 plays?
Not particularly. I'm not really happy with him, but if it's in the if it's in their game plan, I can understand why they would call him. Like I said, that last pass, the receiver should have called it.
Kaleka, not a lot of space. Returns up to just the 38-yard line. Koma Kaleka this year became the first player in SFL history to return a punt for a touchdown. He also had 2 kickoff returns for a touchdown. He's only the second player in league history that has the return specialist ability. We've seen some non-stars return kickoffs, but not punts. How do you think that's going to become a trend this offseason with teams?
I would say so. I mean, most leagues, especially like in the NFL and college as well, they're copycat leagues. If somebody does well with whatever, it's copied by 2 or 3 other teams the following year.
Marconi's pass deep is knocked away by the non-star linebacker Stephen Lambert.
I would say Lacoste and Woods is rubbing off on the non-stars. That's what it looks like.
Well, you know, Lambert as a gold star going back there and defending a receiver, and then, you know, Cooley Lacoste and Woods were off the screen. They must have been defending some sort of deep pass. They're clearly taking Cooley and Abarazzo away to the best of their abilities. 2nd and 10 from the 38. Marconi back to pass against another blitz. Marconi's going to avoid a sack. Throw a ball deep down the field. The pass is caught. What a throw! What a throw! Touchdown! Minneapolis to Abarazzo. Oh my goodness! A slow motion replay here. You've got to be kidding me.
That's all Marconi there.
I mean, look at the drop in the bucket over A.J. Lacoste. What are you going to do? That's all a gold star player just making a great play.
Yeah, Orlando couldn't have defended that any better outside of getting the sack, but short of that, I mean, not only did they miss the sack, but they had the pass pretty well defended too. Rocco just dropped it in. I mean, just dropped it like he dropped it on a dime.
Man, if you're Orlando, you got to take advantage of these opportunities as sacks. I mean, their defensive line is just missing tackles, and it's right now, so far, really, honestly, been the difference in this game, in my view.
Well, what Orlando can't afford to do is get discouraged, because so far they're still in this game. They are still in the hunt.
What a touchdown! Was that the best play of the day so far?
So far, I would say so. That's an MVP candidate play.
From the 10, Orlando on the return, up to the 29. 21-7 Minneapolis for 6 minutes and 13. By the way, that is your 16th point. I'm going to look here. Maybe we can make the announcement live on the air of who won the $100 giveaway. We'll take a look at it and get back with you here after this play. 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line. High formation. Matsumoto going to hand it to Parker, and Parker's going to pick up 5 yards, and they don't look discouraged at all, do they?
No. I mean, just continue with business as usual. March downfield and get some kind of score, as well as take some time off the clock.
Are you a little concerned that they're not taking any deep shots to Allen? That they're being too conservative?
Well, yeah, that's a little concerning, but I think that will come in time.
Zach Parker has a 1st down and a nice spin move out left-hand side. 1st down at the 41-yard line. Lex Marston predicted the 16th point by a specific team would be scored with 6:24 to go in the 2nd quarter. He was pretty close.
Wow.
I can't confirm if he's the winner or not, but looking at all the submissions, he just might be the closest one. J. Miles 56 had 5:30 to go in the 2nd quarter, but I think he might have been just a little bit off. Close call there. 1st and 10 after the Parker run. Matsumoto back to pass, down the middle, and in traffic, a laser to Lorenzo Allen to pick up the 1st down, and Matsumoto must have heard me.
Yeah,
he's gonna do whatever he can to get the ball to Allen. That's his go-to guy.
Lex Marston is in the chat with us. I can't confirm it until I see the official box score and replay of when that score was tallied. But you're certainly very, very close to winning that $100. As Matsumoto drops to throw, his pass is very underthrown, and I'm not sure if there was miscommunication as Lane knocked it away, or if it was just a poorly thrown ball. In your opinion, what'd you see?
I think it was just poorly thrown, because he had him, had he gone over the top, he had him open.
2nd down and 10 from the 46. We appreciate all of you being along for the ride with us. SFL Championship game alongside San Antonio Corky. I am your play-by-play commentator, Cameron Irvine. On a 2nd and 10 for the Mauler 46. Parker will take a swing out pass, has some room along the sideline, and a great open field tackle. And Zach Parker has not been able to break any tackles to the outside.
That's one thing I've noticed about the Minneapolis defenders is that they are good. That first guy usually gets the tackle. They're very good tackling team.
3rd down and 6. Orlando gets the ball to start the second half. To answer the question of whimsical run. 4:10 to go in the second quarter. 3rd down and 6. The Maulers are up by 2 touchdowns. 4 receivers, play action on a 3rd down. And Matsumoto's pass is tipped and picked off at the 30-yard line by Billy Joe Gatlin. And the Maulers are starting slowly but surely to take over. And that's just unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. I'm not sure if there's a injury situation going on with him, but his last 2 throws have been pretty bad.
So Matsumoto letting down Orlando just a little bit. Orlando's defense needs to come up with a huge stop here. They get the ball to start the second half. Still a lot of football to be played as Marconi's pass into triple coverage is caught by Cooley for a 1st down. And we have seen this time and time again from Marconi. Sometimes when he gets hot, his passes are so razor thin.
Yeah, he'll pick a zone apart. He finds those little holes and he'll absolutely kill you. Of course, he has probably 2 of the best wide receivers in the league as well. That doesn't hurt.
1st and 10 from the 45. Trips to the left-hand side. Don't forget that the all-star teams and the expansion teams will be announced at halftime, along with first half analysis from the boys as that pass is caught. That is a 1st down, and we haven't seen a lot of yak yards out of these receivers today, but Albarazzo, 230 yards on 9 grabs. Insane.
Yeah, he's just running primarily underneath, like I said, with the exception of the 1 long pass he caught. He's running dig routes and crossing routes.
1st and 10 at the Orlando 41. The Intimidators need a turnover badly. Marconi back to pass. Marconi looking and flips it outside. The pass is caught and a hit inbounds.
Very nice hit.
By, trying to see who that was, might have been Lacoste. Brings up a 2nd down and 6 with under 3 minutes to go.
Orlando, they need to get a stop and somehow just manage to get some more points on the board.
2nd and 6 from the 37. 3 receivers. Even if Minneapolis scores here, getting a touchdown before the half would certainly be the priority. Oh, Marconi took one of the biggest hits on a quarterback I've seen all year. Ooh, that one hurt.
I think that was to make up for a couple of the missed sacks they had earlier.
Oh, man, somebody's angry. 3rd down and 12 from the 43. 3 receivers pushed him out of field goal range. Marconi out of the shotgun, back to pass. Marconi will fire down the middle, pass caught short of the 1st down. 4th and 4 from the 35 as we hit the 2-minute warning. And what do you do here, Corky? Do you go for it, kick a field goal, punt? What do you do here?
I think Minneapolis is going to be comfortable enough to kick the field goal and live with it.
Pause 10 seconds for station identification along the SFL radio network. You're listening to the SFL Championship game from Baltimore, Maryland's Wayland Corporate Field on the SFL Network on Twitch.
Punting.
Maulers are punting the football. 4th and 4 from the 35, maybe trying to pin Orlando deep so they can't get a score. And they might be successful at it. What a kick, and what a job of the special teams. Orlando will have to drive quite a distance in a minute 52 seconds. Both teams have all 3 timeouts. That's the second big punt of this game, and the punters have come to play too.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Orlando, because so far their offense hasn't been such that they're going to go deep and be able to strike quick.
Cody Klein, happy to hear this is your first broadcast. You picked a good day to check out the SFL Championship game. The 9-0 Minneapolis Maulers trying to hold off the 6-3 Orlando Intimidators in the title from Baltimore. They're going to hand it off to Zach Parker, and he is not going to get away. In fact, he lost about 3 yards, and now they're backed up to the 1-yard line, and this could get a little scary.
Yeah, it could get very scary because Matsumoto, the last possession, his throws weren't exactly the most accurate. So they're in dangerous territory here.
Orlando might be trying to run the clock out because they're going to get the ball to start the second. They might just be bailing on this drive. And Zach Parker nearly was tackled in the end zone again. And I would be really surprised if Orlando threw at this point.
I think that'd be a big mistake if they did.
3rd down and 13 at the 2. Bronco 901. Hope you enjoy it. Well, they're in a 4 wide receiver set here. Cannot take a safety here. That would really be bad. Is Matsumoto going to drop the throw? He needs to get the ball away out of his hands. He's going to, and the pass going to be caught. No, they said he was out of bounds.
They may have to review that.
And that might be the second challenge of the half. This is huge because it gives, and we are going to have a booth review. If this is incomplete, this gives Minneapolis the ball nearly in field goal range with 52 seconds left and 3 timeouts. That's an incredible risky play. Let's check it out. Boy, Orlando's shaking right now.
Ooh, boy, that's close.
That was closer than the other one.
Right, that's real close.
After review, the pass has been ruled complete. The catch
it's a complete pass.
Wow. Going out of bounds.
Okay.
First down.
Wow, that's a questionable call. And we didn't necessarily have a great look at it, a great view at it. The refs obviously must have had another angle.
But that would have been disaster for Orlando had that been not deemed a catch, because that would have been way too much time for the Maulers.
So does Orlando stay aggressive, or do you continue to stay conservative? I don't think Minneapolis will call timeouts here.
I would just run the clock.
They're not going to. Matsumoto's going to throw. Deep pass. Oh, nearly picked it off the hands of 2 receivers. And what a great job by the non-star Parks to play defender. And now there's 46 seconds left. You cannot give Minneapolis the ball back here.
I think Matsumoto was playing with fire. Just run the clock out. Count your blessings, come out in the second half, and start new.
This is risky. I mean, it could pay off. I mean, they could end up tying the game coming out of halftime if they can get a score, but you're right. I mean, playing with fire, no doubt about it. And they are going to hand it off here. And Parker's going to lose about 3 yards. Don't see Orlando run a draw very often. No. I think they might have been trying to waste more time.
And that's fine. Like you said, Minneapolis, they're not going to call a timeout. So
they're going to have to run one more play.
Quite frankly, I'd take a knee.
25 seconds, 18 on the game clock, or I'm sorry, on the play clock. So there's about a 6-second differential. 3rd down and 13. The Maulers going to throw. They're going to throw. They need to keep the clock moving, and Matsumoto's pass is caught. It's caught at the 36. Boy, what a gutsy play call. Down to 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, and a timeout Orlando. Oh, man, that could have really backfired on him.
Shows you how much I know.
I mean, Allen was very well covered down the field. Boy, that takes some guts.
Oh, more guts than I have. Yeah, Matsumoto, he's Mr. Cool, but like I said, I probably wouldn't have had the confidence to make that throw
because of the inaccuracies he's had on a couple of them. But
as Ramos Lim would say, it takes some cojones.
Which I don't have.
First and 10 at the 36. Two receivers, one to either side. Matsumoto is going to drop to throw. He's going to swing it outside the fence. Caught by Gunner, and the half is going to run out. But Orlando kept the ball away from Minneapolis. They get the ball to start the second half. Not a bad first half considering for the Intimidators.
No, not at all. They have to be encouraged with what they were able to accomplish this first half. Had it not been, for a few bad throws, who knows? They could be a lot closer to Minneapolis. But let's see what the second half holds.
We're going to break down the first half here as we take a look at the first half highlights. As we welcome you to the 2K Sports Halftime Report, first of 3 segments as we look at some of the best plays just in case you came in late. You're going to get to see them all right here. As the stats come up on the screen, Corky, 338 yards to 203. I think the most surprising thing there is the 33 rushing yards from Parker.
Yeah, that is surprising. Zach, he averaged 7.2 yards a carry during the regular season, and I think he's being a little bit underutilized.
Broadway and Gatlin both have 4 tackles for the Maulers. That was a beautiful pass to start the game off. Abarazzo took a 7-0 lead for the Maulers. Marconi, 331 yards today and 3 touchdowns, no picks. Matsumoto has 170 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 pick. Here was the response from Orlando after forcing a punt, one of the most beautiful catches Lorenzo Allen's had in his career.
Yeah, like I said, I called him Odell Beckham III.
Marconi dropping back to throw here, and that was a huge play in this game. He sort of fooled the defensive back, and that time they didn't miss the tackle. They just flat blew the sack.
Yeah, Marconi's been Mr. Elusive today. He's gotten out of some really tough spots, and on top of that have made some great throws, just like this one here. Just dropped it on a dime.
That throw was, it might be the best throw I've seen out of any quarterback all season.
That was exceptional.
As Matsumoto on this pass tipped away by Broadway into the hands of Gatlin. That was a big play. They could have stretched it and kept the Maulers a little bit more on their heels. But Minneapolis's defense, just like against Honolulu, they're proving that they can play a little football too.
Yeah, they're not the greatest defense, but they're not chopped liver either. They went 8-0. Everybody thinks in large part because of that offense, but that defense, they did their job as well.
That pass ended the first half to Thomas Gunner. They didn't go Hail Mary formation. They wanted to play conservative. You never know what's going to happen. And that's your first half, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, now let's send it to SFL Updates. Kyle Walsh for the expansion team announcements.
Thanks, Cameron. What a half of football. On this special edition of SFL Update, we have the pleasure of announcing the Simulation Football League's 4 new members. These new owners were voted in by the current majority vote and were voted in one by one to ensure that each candidate application was thoroughly compared against the others. The league appreciates the overwhelming number of applicants leading up to this process, and these decisions were certainly not easy to make. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the SFL Update presents to you 9, 10, 11, and 12, going from west to east on the map. The first owner has proven his dedication to the league, is a current coordinator in SFL, and has been a major participant at league events. His proven skills with All-Pro, 2K8, and had a successful season with the Baltimore Crabs. The Santa Fe Gorillas will become the first international team in the SFL, supporting the colors of blue and orange. Lynn's passion and dedication was certainly recognized by current owners and was an easy choice for league expansion. Congratulations to the SFL username Ramos Lynn, his future staff, and collection of fans. And the second owner to the league is a proven winner and champion, on the field and off. This owner brings skills, talent, and expertise to the game of football. As a former sim owner, owners are confident that the pedigree of victories will translate into the SFL. The Louisville Wolfpack will bring the SFL to Kentucky for the first time with the colors of blue and white proudly displayed. Owners who knew owner Derek Overstreet from his previous stint in the WFL knows just what the Wolfpack bring to the table. Overstreet has one season of Division I collegiate football under his belt at Western Kentucky. Congratulations to FSL username Lou Wolfpack. The third newest member of the SFL will provide an old face to a new audience. While this applicant is brand new to the Irvin-led Sim League, his desire to grow the SFL brand could not be compared during the decision-making process. The Emmy Award-winning filmmaker could be a game changer for the league moving forward. Introducing the Tallahassee Pride, decked out in purple and gold. The Pride will be the second team to call Florida home and provides an instant regional rivalry to the Orlando Intimidators. Florida also becomes the first state in league history to have more than one team call it home. Congrats to SFL username TrueSockCaller1. The fourth and final expansion team has shown his tremendous passion and dedication to the SFL over the past 2 seasons. A sim community guy, this applicant has proven that with the power of marketing and social media, anything is possible. While a certain team continues to struggle with their identity in this city, this ownership group will certainly have no identity issue. The DC Dragons, owned by SFL username Darth Destrom, will bring teal, black, and gold into the league, among the biggest staff of scouts and coaches in the league. The application, a wonder in itself, was well received and undeniable during the expansion process. A big round of applause for the nation's capital's newest team. Coming up next, the league will introduce the SFL All-Stars from the Winter 15 season, who will compete in the league's All-Star game next Sunday, April 26 at 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern. I am Kyle Walsh, and this has been a very special SFL update. Enjoy the second half, and thanks so much for your support of the SFL. Back to you, Cam.
So here are the 12 identities for the SFL teams in Season 5. Congratulations to all those who made it. Corky, what do you think about this group of teams? Oklahoma City revealing their new identity as well today, changing up their logo and color scheme just a bit as well. What do you think about the future of the SFL and this group of 12 teams moving forward?
Well, the future is bright, and I'd just like to say congratulations to all 4 applicants. And those that didn't make it, I mean, hang in there. I'm pretty sure that something will come up in the near future. But 2 of the applicants I know. Congratulations, guys, Ramos and Dark Lord. The franchises couldn't be in better hands.
This was a very difficult process for all those involved, and I even talked to you on the phone a couple of times during the process about the challenges and the difficulties that owners had, and a lot of people in the SFL don't really, or I'm sorry, as fans of the SFL don't really understand that, you know, I can provide my input and I can, you know, but this league is really about the community. It's about everyone as a whole, and everyone as a whole had to make these decisions. And I can guarantee you from private conversations, it was not an easy task.
Oh, I understand that. I mean, like I said, I know what went into it for 2 of the applicants insofar as what they were doing, and if the other owners were working, our applicants were working just as hard as those 2 guys, I'm pretty sure it was pretty hard on you as well as the owners to decide the final 4.
We'll take a commercial break, and we'll be back for the All-Star teams and the MVP announcement. This is the SFL Network Halftime Report. Minneapolis leads Orlando 21-7 at halftime of the championship game. We'll be back in a minute.
America's favorite sport is as popular as ever. But amid the cheering, there's concern, a growing anxiety about head injuries, from the pros all the way down to the Pee Wee leagues. We here at Riddell love this game just as much as you do. And as the premier manufacturer of football helmets, we have an obligation to give you the straight talk. Football is a violent sport. There's no denying that. This sport has done extraordinary things for this nation. It's brought families together, broken down racial barriers. But the time has come for this nation to give back to football, to demand better coaching, to demand more from yourselves as parents. And most assuredly, to demand better, more effective equipment. Are you up for the challenge? We are.
Dedicated bankers born to go the extra mile.
You've been such a big help.
That's what I like to do.
So you can choose a bank where helping people comes first. Chase, so you can.
Hello. You can go ahead and put your bag right here. Have a nice flight.
Traveling can feel like one big mystery. You're never quite sure what is coming your way. But when you've got an entire company who knows that the fewest cancellations and the most on-time flights are nothing if we can't get your things there too. It's no wonder more people choose Delta than any other airline.
Welcome back. We are proud to introduce the Winter 2015 All-Stars. These 20 players had great seasons. They'll be split up onto Team Teal and Teal Gray. And the SFL All-Star game will be next Sunday, April 26th at 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be interesting seeing guys like Marconi and Brewski and completely different offenses and schemes. And
Right.
it's all about the fun. So, without further ado, let's take a look at the All-Star teams. First, for the Teal team, the Gold Stars are going to be Gold Star quarterback Rocco Marconi and Baltimore's outside linebacker Joe Dazzo. The Silver Stars are running back Zach Parker, wide receiver Ianojo Abaratsabo, who play for Orlando and Minneapolis respectively, and the Silver Star inside linebacker is Cleveland's Cameron Brantley. The Bronze Stars are Baltimore wide receiver Nick T. Quick, cornerback from Oklahoma City, Cam Michael, who led the league in passes defended. Cornerback from San Francisco, Mike Sulovich, who, after he got traded from Minneapolis, had a very nice season. A Bronze Star strong safety, Ahmad Arrington, who came to Cleveland. And Cleveland gets two guys on the All-Star team despite their defensive struggles this year because they just basically did everything for that team. And a rookie makes the All-Star team. New York free safety Jesus Salvador had a very underrated year. Corky, what do you think of those group of guys and Marconi actually having a running back behind him?
Well, I mean, is he going to be able to use that running back? That's the question.
Does he remember how to hand the ball off?
Right.
Yeah. Those are questions that are going to be answered next week. Should be a lot of fun. On the Gray side, Mike Dazzo makes his second consecutive All-Star game, and I don't know if you saw the All-Star game last year, Corky. Dazzo was unbelievable. I mean, he was the show in that game. He's going to be the silver. The Gold Stars are running back Pete Brewski from OKC, wide receiver James Cooley from Minneapolis. No surprises there. Other silvers on the team: defensive tackle Larry Henderson from Honolulu. He led the league in sacks, and free safety Koma Kaleka, who has already made his mark on this game and many others. The final silver on the Gray squad. The bronze players are wide receiver Scott King from Cleveland, wide receiver Park Hee-Chol from New York. An interesting experiment. I was talking to you about this. You know, he's got 1,600 all-purpose yards. He didn't have as good of a season running the ball as Parker and Brewski. Put him in the slot. Let's see what this kid can do. The All-Star games are all about fun. Bronze defensive end from San Francisco, Jordan Gray. Outside linebacker from New York, DJ McCoo. He was incredible. I mean, really, again, the Knights had a lot of great players that had underrated seasons just because their season ended so poorly. And Orlando cornerback Rodney Woods, who led the league in interceptions. Overall, what do you think of this crop of players, and who are you taking next week?
Where's Marconi going to be again?
Teal.
Well, you know, I will say one player that's playing on the Teal team that's going to be very, very happy, and that's Quick, being able to catch passes from Marconi.
Not that he's not okay catching passes with Dazzo.
Oh, no, not at all.
I'm sure he'd probably say, "Oh, now wait a minute, don't cause some rifts in the locker room." But some interesting storylines. Cam Michael and Mike Sudalovich return to play on the same team. Sudalovich was a former Renegade. Salvador being a rookie making the All-Star team, that certainly is not something that is taken lightly. No tight ends made the All-Star team. A little disappointing this year out of the tight ends. And we've had tight ends in the game before, plenty of them. Just not enough to warrant a team this year. And then, Parkey Chol being there at wide receiver.
Right.
The league's having a little fun with that. Coaches will have a little fun with that, and it'll be all good. So with that, we announced the most valuable player of the Simulation Football League. And last year, it was Randall Watts, defensive end from San Francisco, a bronze. First bronze, I believe, to ever win the SFL MVP. Had a tremendous season. This year, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
It's Rocco Marconi.
Right.
From Marconi, particularly in this first half and what you've seen from him all season, he throws all the time. We know that. But what specifically about Marconi's game is most special in your mind, do you think?
His just overall command of everything. Passing, his release, his reads downfield, and today, which I did not know, his elusiveness in the pocket when there's pressure.
Let's read off Marconi's final numbers for the year just because he deserves it. A 131.5 quarterback rating. The next quarterback rating in this league was 97. He completed 421 passes. The next person in this league was 274. He attempted 522 passes. The next to him in the league was 356. He completed 81% of his passes. The next guy in line, 77% passes. And those are all West St. Clair's numbers, by the way, who also had a pretty decent season for the Knights. 5,141 passing yards, 56 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, was sacked 14 times, which is only third worst in the league. And that's a testament to Marconi again. And we've seen it in this first half, him just being able to avoid sacks and make plays in the pocket.
Yeah, he does everything but walk on water.
So Corky's cracking me up here. So congratulations to Rocco Marconi, to the Minneapolis Maulers on getting an MVP, first MVP in Mauler franchise history. When we come back, we'll have the second half of action as the SFL is ready for the future with the expansion announcement, the 12 teams, the All-Star game. Still a lot of fun to be had over the next couple of weeks and couple of months leading up to our fifth season, which will be in June. Daktronics will be involved. We'll be able to do so much more next year, and it is going to be one hell of a ride. This is the SFL Network on Twitch. After one more commercial break, we'll be back for the second half. The Maulers lead Orlando 21-7, and this has been the 2K Sports Halftime Report.
For those who demand more, Optimum Nutrition's new Pro Series of superior quality sports nutrition products offers goal-driven individuals exactly what they're after. More quality proteins, more essential amino acids, more proven nutrients to support impressive muscle size and strength gains with less sugar, fat, and everything else you make a point of avoiding. Pro Gainer is a high-protein formula delivering calories that count during recovery. Each shake provides 60 grams of supplemental protein, 85 grams of carbs, as well as 24 vitamins and minerals to build on the amount you're getting through whole foods. Pro BCAA serves up 8 grams of the branched-chain amino acids leucine, isoleucine, and valine in a 2-1-1 ratio. We also included 5 grams of glutamine in the mix because this conditionally essential amino acid helps support recovery after intense exercise. Pro Complex supports muscle size and strength gains in a very big way. This stack of 60 grams of superior quality proteins, along with naturally occurring and added BCAAs and glutamine, holds absolutely nothing back, just like your approach to moving weight. Optimum Nutrition's Pro Series brings it all to your shaker cup in potencies you can depend on to fuel recovery from intense training, no matter how big you are or want to be. Train hard, recover better with the Optimum Nutrition Pro Series.
There's only one reason for flying, and that is speed.
Here are the old speed demons, waiting for someone with better innovation to invent a faster design. The Under Armour Speedform Apollo. This is our rocket ship. From the brand that reinvented the t-shirt comes the very first running shoe made entirely in a clothing factory. This is what fast feels like.
Start of the second half from Wayland Corporate Field in Baltimore, Maryland. Orlando's going to get the ball, and the Maulers have a 21-7 advantage. First half impressions, Corky?
Yeah, I was really, even though they're down, I was impressed with Orlando.
Return up to the 28-yard line, first down. Minneapolis 21, Orlando 7. Start of the second half, the Intimidators did probably about as good of a job as any team has done on Minneapolis all season. It's given them a shot here in the second half as Parker takes it around the left-hand side, and Parker cannot break away. And we saw as Dorsett made that tackle, you know, that has been a key part of this game, is the no broken or missed tackles on the outside.
Yeah, Minneapolis got the memo that this guy averaged 7.2 yards a carry during regular season. And they're doing everything. They're not having it today.
Second down, 7 yards to go. The handoff again to Parker. This time he's got a big hole. Zach Parker, longest run of the day to the Mauler 46. That might be as many yards as he had in the whole first half.
As I stated earlier, Parker is the type of back that just gets stronger the longer the game goes on. And I'm pretty sure we're going to see more of this as the game progresses on into the fourth quarter.
We don't see a lot of Zach Parker going up the middle, but the outside really hasn't been working. Do you think that's fair?
Oh yeah. I mean, they see the outside's not there, gut him.
First and 10 of the 46. Matsumoto going to drop the throw. Matsumoto checked down. Pass is caught. It's 4-yard gain. In this game, that's not a bad play. Perez on the catch.
No, that's a very good play for Orlando.
And Matsumoto needs to build up some confidence a little bit after he, I want to say, struggled in that second quarter to be consistent.
Yeah, he did. He had some problems with his consistency. Made me wonder if there was something going on insofar as injuries are concerned, if he was a little dinged up.
8 in the box for Minneapolis with no receivers on the field. They're going to hand it off to Parker around the right-hand side. Parker makes a spin move, and he is just shy of a first down. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 1 for Orlando. Parker or Matsumoto time?
It's Parker time.
Are you ever going to say it's Matsumoto time?
It's Parker time.
I mean, I agree with you. I mean, you gotta continue to feed the beast, especially with how he's come out here in the third quarter. They're going to hand it off to him around the right-hand side, and what a job by Minneapolis! They threw Parker back. Forward progress is going to be a loss of 1 to the 37-yard line, but what a hit on Parker on the outside. That was huge.
Very huge. But, again, I would run that play every time.
Well, they're going to go for it here on a 4th and 2 from the 37. This could swing field position. This could be the play of the game right here. Down to 12 on the play clock is Orlando. Looks like they might just be trying to run it out. And the Maulers are holding firm, and the Intimidators will call timeout.
And I think that's a waste of a timeout. Just punt the ball, get it over with.
But don't they have to at least try in that situation to keep the drive alive?
No, they've got enough time. Their defense has been such that I don't really think that they have to worry about Minneapolis scoring big on them. I mean, yes, Minneapolis can.
We've never said that before. I don't know how to react.
But Minneapolis has had to punt twice today. We've never said that either.
That's true. There's been a lot of things we haven't said in a long time on an SFL broadcast. A very compelling SFL championship game, no doubt about that.
I mean, all things being equal, this is a really good game with Minneapolis involved.
As this punt is going to be fair caught by Kaleka at the 10. Not a bad kick. Could have been a little better, but Kaleka probably does the smart thing there in catching that one.
Now, here's the key. What can Orlando, or what will Orlando do differently defensively to continue, or if they're going to do anything different at all? Maybe they stay the course.
T-Pat's mad at you that you said that it would be all right. He doesn't like putting down his offense as Marconi drops the throw. He's going to flip it outside. Pass caught. That's Donald Miller. An 8-yard gain. And I got to tell you, I think one of the most surprising things about this game thus far, you know, you've got Woods on Cooley. You've got Lacoste on Abaratsabo. There's not really anyone assigned to Miller, and he hasn't really dominated today.
No. And I'm sorry, T-Pat.
He's stunned, not mad. I apologize. I got the emotions from the chat wrong, who I'm sure I'm not the first one that's ever done that before. 2nd down and 8 from the 18-yard line. 2 receivers to the top left-hand side of Marconi. And Marconi will drop the throw, and Marconi's going to be sacked. A 5-yard loss. Curtis Little around the end, and he went unblocked.
Yeah, the tackle just went to sleep on that one.
3rd down and 7. And one of the key stats in this matchup is that Minneapolis, you know, they don't ever face 3rd down. You know, they don't hardly ever put themselves in these situations, only about 10 a game. So the more you can force, the better the chances. Marconi in a trip set, back to throw, throws it short, that pass is incomplete, nearly intercepted. And the Maulers go 3 and out, and they have to punt.
Wow, that was a gigantic hit there.
I gotta say, you know, hats off to T-Pat this season and all he's done. I'm a little surprised well, actually, I'm very surprised. Orlando could not have asked for a better game at this point.
Oh, no. I mean, yeah, they're behind, but
conventional wisdom would say they'd be down by 45 by now.
Kick is away. The undefeated Maulers still protecting a 14-point lead as Orlando gets up to the Mauler 48. They're going to start on the opposite side of the 50. 8:59 left in the third.
And that was a very good stop by the Orlando defense.
For more information about the Simulation Football League, and to make sure you follow all of the off-season transactions, players on the move, contract decisions, all the new information about the new team, make sure you visit simulationfl.com on a daily basis. And with reaction, game recaps from this game as well, as Parker gains 3 yards, now 67 yards on 17 carries. And there's one thing about Zach Parker, he's got plenty left in the tank.
Oh yes, oh yes. As a matter of fact, as he's running, he's filling the tank up.
What would you like to see here out of this formation?
Don't throw it anywhere besides the middle.
4 receivers split to either side, and Matsumoto drops to throw against a blitz. Matsumoto to the far sideline and nearly intercepted. Another lucky play. Minneapolis not taking advantage of some bad Matsumoto throws. Had the right idea. He was going to the sideline, just couldn't make it happen.
Yeah, his accuracy is not what it should be in a championship game, or a game of this caliber.
And he started in the first quarter. He was 9 of 10, and definitely has fallen off since then. Trips right, far right side, top of the screen. Allen isolated bottom of the screen. Matsumoto play action on a 3rd and 7. And Matsumoto flips it outside. The pass is caught, but he had to come back for the football, and it's going to be a 4th down. 4th and 1 at the Mauler 39. Matthews on the reception, and
again, that's on Matsumoto. His accuracy is just not where it should be for a game of this magnitude.
4th down and 1. The offense is on the field. I highly doubt we see them burn another timeout. I think they're going for it.
They're going to snap this one.
4th and 1 at the 39-yard line, and Matsumoto is going to change the play. 9 in the box for Minneapolis. It looks like a run here. And Matsumoto is going to hand it off, and Parker's got a 1st down, and once more he fumbled the football. It's recovered by Minneapolis. 1st down, Maulers, the play of the game.
Wow, I'm stunned.
Minneapolis's defense with a huge stop, and forcing the fumble was Billy Joe Gatlin, recovered by Austin Broadway. And this is a very tough position for the Orlando defense to be put in now.
Oh yeah, I mean, they did such a good job on the last series, and to put them in this position now, it's just not, well, it's not fair.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line. Marconi back to pass. Marconi looking to capitalize. Fires it short. 4-yard gain. That's Abarazzo's 10th grab. Now with 233 yards on the afternoon.
Yeah, Abarazzo, he comes out of cuts better than probably any receiver in the league.
7:10 to go, 3rd quarter, 21-7. Who would have ever thought? 3 wide receivers. Orlando can certainly be proud, win or lose, the job that they have tried to do here this afternoon. Their offense has failed them just a little bit as Marconi is hit as he threw, and that pass is overthrown. He just had to get that one out of his hands. More pressure.
Well, I think the way Orlando's playing, they're not here for any moral victories. They want to win this game, and I doubt winning by 1 or losing by 100 is not, you know, they want to win the game.
3rd down and 6 at the Minneapolis 33. The last time the Maulers offense was on the field, they went 3 and out. 3 receivers, 2 to the short left side, top of the screen. With Miller isolated bottom of the screen. Marconi drops to throw, and he is going to be sacked again. 3 and out. I have never seen a team get this much pressure on Marconi, and Honolulu had 6 sacks against them in their previous meeting, but that game was a rout.
Yeah, and I'm just blown away by this Orlando defense. I've never seen this against Marconi.
So another 3 and out will force a punt from Minneapolis, and Orlando's defense has played their game of the year as Orlando will return from the 33-yard line. And a nice return at that, up to the 41. A non-star return man making a name for himself. Morales. That would have been embarrassing if I wouldn't have known his name. And first down for Orlando.
Minneapolis, poor punter. I mean, he's had to punt 3 times today. Can you imagine?
He's going to have a broken leg.
Oh,
at
yeah.
the end of the day. 6:08 to go. The third quarter, and Orlando is still down 21-7. The handoff goes to Parker. He is going to have a hard time getting out of the backfield on that one. No gain, 3.9 yards per carry. And Parker has had more trouble on the right side than he has the left side. Any reason for that?
Well, primarily, like when I did play ball, if there was a back that was just really, really good, we would key it. I mean, we would put 2 and 3 guys.
2nd and 10, and Zach Parker, a much better gain here. Got a first down to the Mauler 46-yard line. He made that look easy.
Oh, yeah. I'm thinking that the beast is about to get cranked up.
This has been an incredible game. We certainly appreciate all the fans out there turning into the SFL Championship game. Look at the block down the field by Isaac Perez. What, massive. Corky, can you comment on I know you've talked to me about how energized you are for next season. Are you going to be back in the booth with us? Or what do you think is in store for the SFL in season 5?
Well, with the changes and then with the expansion, I see nothing but good things happening with the league, and I won't be able to be here full time, but I will be here for some broadcasts next season.
2nd down and 10 after Zach Parker. I think they call that incomplete. It was hard to tell. Catch incomplete, doesn't much matter.
Yeah, it's still 2nd and 10, so.
They must have called it complete because the clock is running. 2nd and 10 at the 46 now, 5 minutes to go. Back to throw is Matsumoto. Matsumoto's got a lot of time. Deep ball, caught by Allen. Touchdown, Orlando!
Mama, there goes that man.
The first deep ball, really, of the day for the Intimidators, and it ends in a touchdown. Unbelievable, he's wide open.
Yeah, that was, actually, he got beat. The corner got beat, which is amazing to me. Allen used to be a running back, and now he's a wide receiver.
21-13 off of the Matsumoto touchdown pass to Lorenzo Allen. Allen's second touchdown catch of the day. And, you mentioned Lorenzo Allen. I mean, this guy, he plays in the first 2 championship games. The first game as a running back, second game as a wide receiver with 2 different teams, wins 2 rings. He, last year, as that extra point is good, nearly blocked. Last year, Orlando made the playoffs. They're the only team in league history, if you were here for the factoids in the pregame, only team in league history to make the playoffs all 4 years, and that applies as well to Lorenzo Allen.
Wow.
I mean, the guy has had a tremendous career, and I would say that the move from night running back to Orlando wide receiver has paid off.
And not to mention his championship pedigree.
From 1 yard deep in his end zone, Koma Kaleka on the return. He has had no room. This has been a stellar job by Orlando special teams today because we know this guy can break it out at any time.
And I could be wrong, but I'm beginning to think that Minneapolis hasn't really been tested like this all year. Do you think it could be getting to them, or?
Not sure. That now they were tested. Orlando led them in the third quarter the last time these 2 teams played.
Oh, that's right.
Certainly was nothing like this score though. It was in the 30s at that point as Marconi flips it outside. That pass caught by Miller, only a 2-yard gain. As you look at the quarterback numbers, wow. Marconi only 344 passing yards? You got to be kidding me.
Yeah, that's pedestrian for him.
And if I remember correctly, have the Maulers gotten a first down in the third quarter? They've had 2 back-to-back 3-and-outs.
No.
I don't know if they've had the ball another time.
No.
2nd and 8 from the 22. It's absolutely astonishing. Three wide receivers from the left-hand side as Marconi drops to throw against the pressure. The pressure's picked up and his pass is caught by Donald Miller. 1st and 10 at the 43 for the Maulers. And that is going to be the key moving forward for Minneapolis. They have got to do a better job of picking up the pressure and let Marconi do his thing.
Yeah, they picked up all the blocks. There was no pressure for Marconi, and if you give him that much time, he has enough time back there to write a book.
Look at the size advantage that Donald Miller has on the outside. Miller has been a traveler. You know, he was with Dallas, he was with New York, he's been with Grand Rapids, been with Minneapolis. He's just been all over the place. You know, he's a big guy.
Oh, yeah, he's a very good wide receiver.
One of these teams is going to scoop him up and make him a star one day as Marconi drops to throw, and his pass is knocked away.
Oh.
And nice little job there to make the tackle on Abarazzo, too, after it became legal. It's another good stop there on the outside, 2nd down, and Abarazzo's been quiet here in the second half.
Yeah, I think with the exception of that one short catch he had, he pretty much has been non-existent.
2nd down and 10 at the 43-yard line for the Maulers. Just got their first down of the 3rd quarter. They still lead by 7. A mighty good Mauler team who's trying to become the first team in league history to finish undefeated. Marconi again against the blitz. It's picked up. The pass is caught. But what Orlando is doing, doesn't it look like he's being forced to take the check down because of the pressure?
That's exactly what Orlando wants. They want him to take that check down, and they're hopefully keeping the receivers underneath so that there's no yards after catch.
3rd down and 6. The Mauler 48. Yet another 3rd down for Minneapolis, and looks like man coverage again with 2 deep for Orlando. Marconi in an empty backfield, back to pass. He's going to flip it out to the right side, and the tackle is going to be made. And Minneapolis is going to have to punt again. I can't believe this.
It's Orlando is just doing an outstanding job on the defensive side of the ball, and they are wearing Minneapolis's punter out.
He might have to start punting with his left foot.
Yeah, because this is more work than he's probably done the entire season.
Yeah, and we're not being sarcastic here. I mean, no doubt about it. 4th down. The Maulers have to punt from midfield. Fair catch called for. That's a nice punt down to the 15-yard line. Another tough start to the drive for Orlando.
Yeah, I mean, the field position that they have to start at. See, this field position for Minneapolis, not that big of a deal. For Orlando, pretty big deal.
Unless they can get the ball to Allen, because he just has a knack for making big plays. You know, he had that big catch against Baltimore in that crazy game. Oh man, yeah. That was a special game. 1st and 10 for the 15, and Matsumoto's going to start the drive of the pass. Dangerous throw! And can't lack the effort there by Thomas Gunner to go diving for it, but it's going to bring up a 2nd down.
I'm questioning that throw as well. I'm not real sure what he's seeing there. As a matter of fact, I'm questioning the play call itself.
Do you think that the middle, I mean, we saw Gunner was open, but it was underthrown. Allen was open, and it ended up being a touchdown. Do you think the middle is just the lost cause at this point?
I would say so until Zach continues to open it up more.
Yeah, and that will help.
Oh, yeah.
And off to Parker here on 2nd and 10. Nice spin move, but Parker, not much there. Only going to be a 1-yard gain. Tackle made by Billy Joe Gatlin. And Billy Joe Gatlin is having a day.
Yeah, I've heard his name several times.
Do you have a brother, Corky?
I do.
What would it be like playing football with your brother?
It would have been awesome.
As the Gatlin brothers have done for years in this franchise. It's pretty special. 4 receivers set. 3 to the right side as the Mauler fans that made the trip are chanting defense. 3-step drop back, and Matsumoto's pass is deflected off a helmet of a Mauler defender, and that time Matsumoto just didn't have any time, and Orlando's going to have to play some more defense. That was not a good drive.
Yeah, see, the field position is playing into what Minneapolis is trying to do to Orlando. Like I said, this field position for Orlando is not really conducive to them continuing to drive. Minneapolis, it would be no problem. Especially the decisions Matsumoto is making, they're just not the greatest in the world right now.
Why is everyone typing at the moment? Did I miss something? Minneapolis from the 46 will return up to the Orlando 47. This is very good field position for Minneapolis, some of the best they've had today, and this is, how long can Orlando hold on like this?
Well, time will tell. I mean,
the lowest points Minneapolis has scored this season is 42. I mean, just goes to show you. Back to pass, Marconi. He'll flip it out to the running back. He's got some space to run. Nice little play, gains 5 yards to the 42.
Yeah, now that the Orlando defense, they've been doing pretty well insofar as tackling in space is concerned. So as long as they can continue that, and like I said, keep the receivers within check, within range, so that they can make the tackle and not let them, as it were, be a free-range chicken just running all over the place.
12 catches for Albarazzo, but on 18 targets, they've done a pretty good job. Today is Marconi has a free play on the offside call, and he's got no one to throw to. He's got a defender at his feet. He's going to fire it down the middle of the field. It's going to be tipped up almost into the hands of the receiver. That would have been a touchdown.
Wow.
Woo!
But the reason he had to hold the ball so long was because of tight coverage downfield. Of course, Orlando was offside.
And that's going to result in a first down. Maulers nearly in field goal range to the 36-yard line. And I don't necessarily think that any score by Minneapolis here changes this game. You just don't want to, if that happens, come out on the field, have a 3-and-out, and just have this game fall apart.
Right.
3 receivers to the far left side. Top of the screen, Albarazzo all alone at the bottom. Marconi back to pass. Marconi against just a 4-man rush, and he flips it outside, and that's going to be a loss of 3 yards outside of field goal range.
That was a good tackle.
Tackle made by, I believe, Rodney Woods, 2nd and 13.
Mr. Woods.
Woods, an all-star. Have some first-time all-star this year. Cam Michael from OKC. I don't remember him ever being in the game. Mike Sudelovich, same thing. Had a good year with the Bulldogs. Cameron Brantley, tremendous for Cleveland. And even Rodney Woods, I don't think has been there. Offside again, and Orlando, as Marconi got away and then gets hit crack from the backside. And he is getting punished, but he's also punishing the Intimidators here on this drive.
Well, the Intimidators are shooting themselves in the foot with all these penalties.
We only saw 1 offside penalty in the first half, 2 on this drive, and that's the same boy, number 96, Little, who's had such a good game.
Yeah.
Sacking the quarterback and making plays in the short game, and
maybe that's why he's had the sack.
He's got all 4 sacks,
right.
By the way. I know that people have been cheering his name on in the chat. 4 sacks, but 2 offside penalties now.
And he's trying to jump the count.
2nd and 8 from the 34. He's just been out of control. 3 receivers as Marconi drops to throw against some pressure. Marconi deep down the middle of the field. That pass is caught. Oh, touchdown! Minneapolis, and it's that man again. Sumo time touchdown.
Abu Ratsabo.
And again, the Maulers are able to exploit the middle of the field on this play. Albarazzo scored on that play twice. Easy pitch and catch.
Wow, that was that Woods?
Not sure. Didn't see it. I think it might have been Lacoste.
Okay.
So the Minneapolis Maulers finally create some breathing space.
But that's what they do. They create breathing space.
Extra point is good. Coming up on the end of the 3rd quarter. Still plenty of time in this game, but the Maulers a little bit more back to normal. 28-14 over Orlando.
Yeah, Rocco was stellar on that drive.
So Minneapolis will kick it away. One of the final plays of the 3rd quarter from the 8-yard line. Orlando running sideways, gets to the 26. But not bad field position there. And what do you think? Can Orlando stay the course still?
I think they can still. There's still plenty of time left in the game. I wouldn't panic. I would continue to feed Zach Parker. Because as I said, and people are probably tired of hearing this, he gets stronger as the game goes on. But, of course, they're in shotgun.
First and 10 at the 26. Two receivers, one to either side. And Matsumoto's going to drop the throw. He's going deep. He's going for the whole thing. And Allen got the catch, a 17-yard gain. And Lorenzo Allen now 112 yards on 6 grabs to end the quarter. End of 3. We'll get Corky's response when we come back. Minneapolis is up 28-14. This is the SFL Network on Twitch.tv. And we'll be back for an exciting, compelling fourth quarter where we'll crown a new champion after this.
Love life. Discover and learn with a whole new TV experience. With details that rival Ultra HD TV. More brilliant color reproductions. And brighter. Beyond Ultra HD experience. Aquos Quattron Pro from Sharp.
There are hundreds of places that can fix my car, but only one that I trust.
And we don't take that responsibility lightly. We want to earn your trust.
Pro Auto Care and Transmission is a full-service auto repair facility with almost 40 years of helping people with their automobile and truck problems. We are committed to having the highest ethical standards, reliable and expert service with professional modern technology to ensure you have a great experience with us. Pro Auto Care and Transmission. Complete auto service you can trust.
It was the night before, as the people of this little Belgian town waited for the crowning moment. Nature had other plans. But with the help of the masters of the Artois Brewery, a new star was born. Stella Artois, originally brewed as a beautiful holiday gift for the people of Leuven, Belgium.
Up. A short word that's a tall order. Stand up. Get up. Step up. Up demands that you rise to the challenge. Up your game. Up the ante. And if you stumble, you get back up. Then raise yourself higher than before. It's not easy, and not everyone is up to it. That is, up to up. But we are. Because we're in the business of up. Every day, Delta flies 250,000 people to 330 destinations worldwide, while investing billions of dollars, improving everything from booking to baggage claim. We're raising the bar on flying. You could say we're upping up. And tomorrow, we will up it yet again.
First and 10 for Orlando at their own 43-yard line as we welcome you back to the fourth quarter of action. Alongside San Antonio Corky, I am your play-by-play commentator, Cameron Irvine, in the SFL Network on Twitch. This is the SFL Championship game as Matsumoto will throw deep, and Matsumoto's pass is incomplete. And the Maulers continue to do a pretty good job on Thomas Gunner today. Haven't done as good a job on Allen, but Gunner hasn't had a lot of space.
I think Orlando, with their play calling, they're providing a little help to the Maulers. Not that the Maulers' defense isn't good, but some of the play selection is questionable, in my opinion.
Second down and 10 at the 43-yard line. Receivers, two backs. They're going to flip it out to Parker. Haven't seen a lot of that today, and Parker is going to pick up 5. And part of the reason why you haven't seen a lot of that today is because Minneapolis isn't missing any tackles. Very sound defense today.
They haven't. They've been right there, Johnny on the spot all day long. But moving forward here, like I said, somehow Orlando's got to figure out how to get Zach Parker in space. I mean, they're trying, but they've got to do a better job.
3rd and 5 as Matsumoto over the middle. This time it had a wide open receiver. That was Perez. Matsumoto now 23 of 34 for 256 yards, and for the first time in a long time, the middle was open.
Right, and that's because they caught him in a blitz.
And a nice
that won't happen very often.
Nice read by Matsumoto too. Don't be scared of the middle. Just slip forward when you take it. 2 backs, 2 receivers. Matsumoto back to throw, and he had Parker on the other side. Hits Gunner for a 4-yard gain. I didn't see anybody over there.
No, but that was a very nice catch by Gunner. And you know what? And to Matsumoto's credit, he hasn't been gun shy. He hadn't shied away. He hadn't crawled into a shell and taken the fetal position. He's still shooting bullets.
2nd and 6 from the Mauler 40. Even a field goal here would help. Tight set right. Allen is to the top of the screen. Hand off Parker. Right inside, got a lot of blocks. 1 more to go. And a great job by Kaleka getting off the block and stopping a potential touchdown, but a first down to the 25-yard line.
This is exactly what I was saying that they need to do. They need to feed the beast to get him involved more in the game plan, not just little flips out of the backfield. Hand him the ball. Let him go downfield and terrorize a few guys in the secondary.
What a job by Kaleka getting off that block. Tremendous player movement there by All-Pro.
Yeah.
1st and 10 of the 25. This time they flip it out to Parker. Oh, Parker got his head chopped off. What a vicious hit. A 2-yard gain to the 23. Yeesh.
I'm back there telling Matsumoto, meet me in the parking lot after the game.
How many fingers am I holding up? 20.
No, how many fingers am I holding up? Thursday.
2nd and 8 at the 23. Blue. 11 minutes to go in this ball game. Down by 14. This is a huge possession as Parker takes the handoff left-hand side, and Parker's going to be wrapped up. No gain. And you see what Kaleka did, man. He just shot that gap.
Right. Kaleka is quietly having a pretty good game, don't you think?
Yeah. He hasn't had the interceptions, hasn't had the big plays on special teams, but he's responsibly sound. 3rd down and 8. This is a huge play as Matsumoto will fire into traffic. The ball is caught. I don't know how he caught it. That was Allen. It's 4th down and 2. Is it too early to go for it?
I would bring Mr. Automatic out. Get your points. Get the field goal.
I have to agree with you. For as quickly as things can go down in this league, especially, and the way your defense has been playing, I think you got to do what you got to do. Minneapolis has blocked a field goal just recently against New York.
Right.
So they have the potential to do so. From the 34-yard line, Franklin Reese. Kick. Good. I should say from the 24-yard line. It was a 34-yard field goal. Orlando has cut the deficit back down to 11. And even if Minneapolis goes down, now what you can have is a touchdown. That probably puts it away. But even if Minneapolis goes down and gets a field goal,
right,
no harm, no foul.
Well, what this has also done, though, is by them keeping the ball and keeping Minneapolis off the field, it kind of kills some of their momentum, if you will. Kind of takes them out of their rhythm. Of course, has Rocco ever been out of his rhythm?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I mean, for as kept down as Minneapolis has been today, Marconi still has not thrown a pick. He just doesn't make mistakes as Kaleka returns to the 28-yard line.
Let's see what Orlando can do here on defense. Now, if they get a stop here, this is going to be, in my mind, that's a victory for them if they get this stop.
As it has been time and time again today, definitely a season high in punts for Minneapolis. 4 receivers, 3 to the right-hand side of Marconi. He stands in an empty backfield shotgun. Marconi will drop the throw. No pressure. Marconi deep pass caught. Pass midfield. Got to make that tackle. He does it. One man to beat, and Minneapolis may have just punched their ticket to the trophy. Touchdown, Maulers.
I gotta say, mama, there goes that man, Abu Ratsubo.
Abu Ratsubo gets outside, and the corner just stood no chance. Great play. And then and we've seen Minneapolis has missed tackles. I'm sorry, Minneapolis has made the tackles, and Orlando just hasn't done it today. And you can talk about passing, you can talk about Zach Parker, you can talk about sacks. I think that the key in this game is that the Maulers have made their tackles, and Orlando has not.
Because that's what has made the Maulers. I mean, of course they have Abu Ratsubo, Cooley, as well as Rocco, but their yards after catch has been phenomenal this year.
And Abu Ratsubo might be the player of this game. I mean, James Cooley has done nothing.
No.
I mean, we haven't heard his name the entire second half. Orlando just can't keep containment on the little short receiver.
Yeah.
Still plenty of time left, but it's going to take a village.
Yeah, I mean there's time, but it's starting to tick down for the Intimidators.
From the 9, Orlando on the return, and up to the 29-yard line.
And given what I said about Parker being in the game and using him and feeding the beast, they're at a point now to where they're out of that ball game. There's not really, the time is against them insofar as using a running game.
And that's what the Maulers have been able to do to so many opponents. Now you get in the situation where you have to pass against Marconi, and it just doesn't work. They're going to stay with the run, and Parker lost 3 yards. I don't even think you can blame that on Parker. Poor blocking, and Orlando is really starting to fall apart here.
Well, Minneapolis is just pinning their ears back. They know they've got to pass, so they're just blowing and going. And that's why I said the time for Parker now is probably past.
Second down and 13 from the 26. 3 receivers. Matsumoto's got to be a hero. And Matsumoto's pass, a wobble, but it's caught. A 12-yard gain brings up 3rd down and 1. That's Billy Joe Gatlin's 6th tackle of the game. Perez on the reception. 3rd and 1.
Perez has quietly had a pretty decent game as well.
Perez, the receiver, or the receiver/tight end with the least amount of catches and yards this season. You're right. I mean, he's had a better day than Donald Miller.
Right.
I don't think anyone would have expected that. 2 in the backfield, and they're going to hand off on a 3rd down and 1, and what a job! That's Billy Joe. 7th tackle of the day, and again, this one looks like it's winding down, and it's going to be a Mauler undefeated season.
Well, that play, I believe everybody in the stadium knew what was coming then.
4th and 4, Orlando's just going to punt. Do you agree? If you don't get it, I mean, the game is most certainly over. At least here, you might be able to get a stop.
I think Orlando's counting on going down here, getting the stop, and getting the ball back with a reasonable amount of time left on the clock.
And they're still trusting in their defense. They've still held Minneapolis to their season low. But boy, 1 play drive, we haven't seen that all day. Those are killers.
Yeah, I know the teams win and lose games, but I think the defense has done their part. It's the offensive side that has kind of fell short.
Orlando, the last time they played Minneapolis, put a 45 on him as Marconi's pass to the outside is caught. What a grab by Donald Miller as Marconi nearly to 500 yards today. No picks. That's a Mauler 1st down, and we're not seeing the pressure on Marconi that we did earlier in this game.
I think we can attribute some of that to fatigue.
They certainly have given a tremendous effort.
Yeah, because this is Minneapolis is being Minneapolis. It's starting to turn into a track meet for them.
Don't forget that the SFL All-Star Game is next Sunday, 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern. Have some fun. We're going to have some fun with that ball game. Seeing some players meshed up against each other and one another as Marconi's going to go down. Big sack. Marconi upset with himself and a little LeBron James jumper there by Curtis Little, who gets his sack number 5. What a day for a non-star. And quite honestly, that might be a new league record. I think Henderson had 6 or 7 a couple years back.
Well, Little should get that sack. He's cost him on some offsides penalties.
But for a non-star, I think 5 sacks definitely is the record.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
He's had a great game as Marconi drops to throw. He's going to be sacked again. That's a 10-yard loss. Was that Little again? Coming off the defensive end. It was.
He is fired up. He's going to do everything he can to get that offense the ball back.
6 sacks. Little keeping Orlando in the ball game. Unbelievable. And if you give up a 3rd and 28 here, you can just write it in. Marconi empty backfield, 5 receivers. And Marconi pump fake, has time down the middle of the field. The pass is caught, first down. James Cooley's 7th catch of the day converts a 3rd and 28. And what are you supposed to do?
He is a god.
And Cooley that time, he just beat Woods. Plain and simple.
Which, if you think about it, Woods doesn't get beat like that too often. I mean, he's probably been burned a couple of times today, but this is Minneapolis.
1st and 10 at the 42-yard line as Marconi drops the pass again, and Marconi's pass down the middle was caught inside the 10, inside the 5. That's the Minneapolis touchdown, and this game has finally turned into the blowout that many may have expected as the Maulers score and put it up to 41-17.
But you know, this is what we expected probably the first half. Orlando really has nothing to be ashamed of. They should hold their heads up high because Minneapolis probably should have ran away with this game first half, but with a few mistakes by here and there offensively, this game could have probably turned out a little bit different, or at least closer. But yeah, they have nothing to be ashamed of, and I think Minneapolis has been the champions we all thought they would be.
People are going to look at the score and they're going to see a blowout, but certainly, I mean, in 3.5 quarters, this was a ball game.
Oh yeah.
With Orlando having multiple opportunities, certainly Little's effort is not lost on this game either. Some good non-star play there. And, you know, Corky, I ask you, 42-17, Minneapolis has scored 42 points in 10 straight games. It's going to be a topic of conversation in terms of the not running the ball, having basically a 100-0, 99-1 run pass ratio, and whether or not that's in football. As Orlando is completely falling apart, they're going to get called. This is going to come back. There are some positives and negatives to having customization and having teams be a part of that. What are your kind of overall thoughts on where sim football stands in that regard?
Well, now this is insofar as how a person builds their team, and if it's allowed, I have no problem with it. But in the history of football, I know of no team that doesn't run the football. Some of the greatest offenses run and shoot, Bills of the 90s, Chargers of the 80s. I mean, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. I think it's just a matter of how you prefer it, or what the league deems, that you can and can't do.
That's passing completely outside, 2nd and 10. I would say pretty well said. It's it should be a neutral and fair argument, but I tell you what, this is an amazing team, and I think if it happened again, in a second season, I don't think Minneapolis could go 10-0 and do what they did.
Well, I'll tell you, me personally, I enjoyed watching them play this year. As a matter of fact, I can tell you there were games, there are times when I didn't really have the time. I would tune into a Mauler game.
Matsumoto's pass complete to Parker. That's a 1-yard gain. Now down to 5:45 to go here in the fourth quarter. They're down and 9 at the 14 as Matsumoto's pass is caught. For a first down at the 28-yard line. 294 yards for Ono Matsumoto today. Still no match for the Maulers.
No, the Maulers, like I said, they are a great team. They'll be a great champion. I've enjoyed watching them. Hats off to T-Pat. He has a well-oiled machine here. And like I said, congratulations. I don't know if it's too early to say congratulations, but I doubt very seriously that Orlando is going to be coming back here.
5 minutes to go, and something that's underrated about the Maulers is just been their defensive effort and performance this year. I mean, they made a trade in the middle of the season. They shipped off Mike Sudelovich, who ended up becoming an all-star. They shipped off Bradford Unsicker in exchange for Austin Broadway and Marcus Dorsett, and that has worked out for Minneapolis. And in this playoffs, I mean, the Maulers have given up, 3-4 touchdowns?
Right.
I mean, really incredible job the way their defense has performed as well this year. No doubt, undefeated champions, well deserved. Just an incredible performance as Orlando's going no huddle.
It's like I stated earlier. I mean, their defense. Everybody looks at their offense, but their defense isn't chopped liver. I mean, they're not 8-0 just because of the offense.
Third down and 3 as Marcus Dorsett knocks the ball away. Pass intended for Allen. 4th down and 3. I highly doubt Orlando is going to go for it. Just punt it away and hope you don't give up another touchdown here. Well, it looks like the offense is on the field.
Well,
can't fault them. Game's over. Might as well.
Right. Yeah, go out with your guns blazing.
Back to pass. Matsumoto, he is going to be sacked. And that's the way the fourth quarter has gone for Orlando today. What was it 28-14 at the end of the third?
Right.
Just a rough 9 minutes of football.
So now, for pride's sake, Orlando has to stop Minneapolis from scoring again. Because I doubt very seriously Rocco is taking his foot off the gas.
Receiver set. Marconi drops to throw. And Marconi completes it. That's an 8-yard gain. And there's chat in there's discussion in the chat room as we expected by bringing it up as a topic of conversation. We certainly don't want to shy away from it. But, as you said, it's really up to the owners and what they feel sim football and the Simulation Football League is all about. You don't have to, you write the rule book. Don't have to follow anybody or feel, constricted by what the NFL does or what, I mean, it's our league. It's the Simulation Football League. It's unique in itself, and it's going to be an interesting topic of conversation, especially after Minneapolis basically broke the record this year in the passing game as that pass intended for Cooley's incomplete. 3rd down and 2.
Lou Wolfpack, start a fight, Orlando.
Man, if all pro football had fights.
Oh. They do allow them to get chippy, though.
They do. Third down and 2 from Orlando's 25 as Minneapolis looks to pile on here. 3 receivers and Marconi facing a late blitz. Pass is caught. Official got knocked over. 1st and 10 of the 14-yard line. Lacoste on the tackle, but the Maulers continue to move the chains and hold possession. Let's just relax with the Minneapolis chat and let's celebrate their championship, shall we? There's no need for anyone to take sides of the fence and start a war. Marconi's pass incomplete. 2nd and 10, more pressure. Little is going to get himself a contract.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I've never seen a non-star defensive end or defensive tackle. You know, I've never seen anyone play as well as he's played today.
They should have had 21 more guys like Little. They'd probably be in this game right now.
2nd down and 10 at the 14-yard. What, if he had 12 sacks?
Yeah.
That's what they would have needed. 2nd and 10 from the 14-yard line. Marconi drops back the pass. Marconi's going to fire to the end zone, and that pass is going to be intercepted. Pass intercepted, and Marconi slaps himself in the helmet, says, what am I doing, as Davis Bickerstaff makes the play. Well, you're allowed to have one bad pass, I suppose.
So Marconi is human.
Throws into double coverage, looking for Abarazzo, who has either 4 or 5 touchdowns today. He's basically done it all. James Cooley this year, if you look back, his season low for receptions is 10. He only has 7 in this game. And who would have thought that James Cooley, as that deep ball is caught by Allen past midfield, the 45-yard line. Who would have thought that James Cooley has a season low in receptions and Minneapolis comes away with the championship?
Yeah, I wouldn't have expected that. But that's a credit to the Minneapolis offense.
Swing out to Zach Parker. That pass is caught. A gain of 3 yards to the 41-yard line. Brings up 2nd down and 7. Matsumoto pass over the middle. Caught. Gunner. 5-yard pickup. 3rd down and 2, 3.5 to go. Orlando showing some pride here. And Matsumoto pulling Marconi. Jumped him outside. That's going to be a 1st down regardless inside the 30-yard line.
Yeah, Minneapolis has had a dream season this year, in spite of what people are saying about them and the haters. They've just had a stellar season. They've done what they needed to do to beat champions, and nobody's been able to beat them. They deserve it. They're going to be a great champion. I'm excited to see how they defend the championship in next season, especially with the 4 new teams coming in and the league expanding.
So 42-17. 1st and 10 at the 28.
Matsumoto walks to the line like he's still got that swagger.
You know, self-confidence is a powerful thing. As that pass is caught again, he should have some swagger on this drive. He's played very well. And for 3 quarters of this ball game, you know, he didn't have a career day, but Matsumoto was solid. I mean, the 1 interception was off a tip pass, and nothing more about that as he moves the chains again.
But where was this first part of the 3rd quarter?
Yeah, I'm not sure. 1st and 10. And that pass is caught, but a bad job by, I don't know if you blame that on Parker or Matsumoto, who goes down as a 6-yard loss. Parker just, ever since that big hit on Parker, he's just a little lumpy.
Yeah. But I've said this before in another game that they played, I just don't think they got him involved enough soon enough.
2nd and 16 from the 20, 42-17. Receivers, Matsumoto drops back the pass, and a big hit there, only a gain of 3 yards, sets up a 3rd down and 13 as we're winding down to the 2-minute warning. And Matsumoto is going to the end zone, and that pass is a diving play, incomplete. Wow, I thought Gunner came down with it. 4th down.
Nice attempt. Well, now you surely don't bring the field goal kicker out.
Well, they might to make it a 3-score game. I know that sounds silly, but no, they're going for it. Sometimes, man, you never know. 4th and 13 from the 18-yard line. The Intimidators trying to make this score a little bit closer. Matsumoto, pump fake to the end zone. The pass is out of bounds. Caught by Parks. But just overthrew the intended receiver. Bear was there on the coverage, and that's just an unfortunate missed opportunity for Orlando there.
Yeah, I think Matsumoto's arm just let him down today. They were either too long, too short, or to the other team.
He was he was definitely out of bounds, no question about that. So Minneapolis, you know, T-Pat coached here for last season for the Crabs. This was his old home. It must be pretty sweet coming back to the old stomping grounds of Wayland Corporate Field and getting a victory like he has today as the backups are in. And that is going to be a wobbly throw that's incomplete.
And I wonder if T-Pat's going to celebrate with some crabs.
He just might. He just might. Brings up a 2nd and 10.
Let's go. 2nd and 10.
Curtis Little has 6 sacks today.
That's amazing.
Minneapolis, nice to bring the backups in here. There's no need to pile on. We certainly know that the Maulers are the best team in the SFL this season. As the Maulers are going to throw another incomplete pass, and Little there to apply the pressure, 3rd down. I've never seen a defensive end, star or no star, play the game he's played.
Like you said, he's trying to get a contract.
3rd and 10. Ball at the 18-yard line.
Damn! You can't see me! Hey! Son!
3rd down and 10 from the 18. 2:19 to go. As Minneapolis is going to get sacked. 4th down at 15. So Orlando's going to get the ball one more time. This was a 28-14 game at the end of the 3rd quarter. I can almost guarantee you that nobody saw that score at the end of 3.
But actually, like I said, congratulations go out to Minneapolis. Congratulations go out to Orlando for even getting to the title game. And it's been a pretty well played ball game. It ended up like most people expected it would, just a lot later than people expected it would.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to the SFL Championship Game, the SFL Network on Twitch. Wayland Corporate Field in Baltimore. So 2 minutes left. The SFL is going to bring out the trophy, and Minneapolis is going to get to celebrate for the fans that came down, or that came east from Minneapolis. They certainly have a lot to celebrate. You can't get a better season than what Minneapolis had this year, and T-Pat, who's won championships in CAG, it's just been a brilliant year, and T-Pat deserves all the credit in the world. Alan J.D., Bandits APF 2K8, did a great job in promoting the team and really making the team popular. I know that the Maulers next season will look a little different. I think they're going to bring in an OC and a DC while T-Pat goes to medical school. It's going to be a fun season 5.
Oh, yeah. And I see that T-Pat announced that he's stepping down as OC. And they're hiring a new offensive coordinator for the Maulers.
Yeah, so Vertigo will come in, and he's done a great job with Baltimore. He got that team to the semifinals yet again, and certainly a good hire. Zach Parker, boy, that's one of the first missed tackles by Minneapolis all game. Parker breaks away, 1:30 to go.
I think this is going to be a great addition for the Maulers. I can tell you what, there's not going to be any tail off so far as play calling is concerned with Vertigo. He's a great offensive mind.
2nd and 7 after Parker's 3-yard gain. Matsumoto's pass, caught inside the 10, down to the 9, and Orlando says, you know what, we're going to take our second time out. And if you can believe this, Corky, here's a stat for you. This is the first time either offense has been inside the 10-yard line.
Oh, that's right.
It's the first time I typed out gold today on the scoreboard.
Right.
I just didn't have a lot of red zone offense in this game. The big playability of Minneapolis and Orlando's tightening defense. We're very excited. new teams as Matsumoto's pass to the end zone is ruled a touchdown. And that's Lorenzo Allen again. And Lorenzo Allen has nothing to hang his hat or nothing to hang his head down for. As we get another look at it, not quite sure if he was in. Got 1 foot in.
That was close.
I don't think the Maulers are going to challenge.
Yeah.
No point. But Allen does get his third touchdown of the game, so makes the score
respectable.
Yeah, a little better. And really, I drew a blank. What an incredible game.
but I'm thinking T-Pat himself would say this is probably a better game than he expected from Orlando.
Oh, I think he would absolutely say that. And I think that, the Maulers expected a lot from opponents this year, as Orlando's going to onside kick. They're not quitting.
No.
You can't fault them. Minneapolis likely puts the backups in. Orlando only has one timeout, so the Maulers are going to take some knees if they recover the onside kick as Orlando boots it away. And what a great job of ball tracking there. Did you see him back up to make that play? Excellent job by the Maulers special teams, and we're 3 plays away from putting this one in the books.
That's the beauty of all-pro football. I mean, they just so far ahead of its time.
First and 10 of the 47-yard line with Daktronics, with new teams, with with a new schedule format. We're going to be on the air 4 days a week next year. Some Wednesdays, some Thursdays, Saturdays, Sundays, Mondays. I was able to adjust my work schedule, and I'm sure everyone will as well, to catch up this action with all the new stuff going on. What are you most looking forward to next year, Corky?
Well, next year, I'm looking forward to the off season, seeing how it actually works, because I've never been involved in the off season, to see how it actually works with the free agency, trades, if there are any, contract signings. So I'm pretty excited about that right now.
Yeah, and we really don't, in the next couple of weeks after the All-Star game, we'll really start to get involved with looking into contracts and seeing who's expired. Kyle Walsh mentioned to me the other day that, he's got 7 contracts expiring.
Ooh.
Some teams' off seasons are going to be more interesting than others, and certainly an interesting off season for Orlando. Great year. They started 1-3 and end up going on a 5-game winning streak, and just got run over by a bus. The Minneapolis Maulers.
But like I said, there are 6 other teams that wish they were here. So Orlando should be proud of their accomplishments this year. Dan
Stevens and Peter O'Keefe are going to have the post-game highlight wrap-up as we take a look at the stats. Gives us a little break. We'll come back to wrap up a very good championship game. Much better than some might have predicted or expected. But the Maulers come away with a perfect season. 10-0, 42-24. Congratulations again to T Paternity.
And that is going to do it for this one. The Maulers come out on top, 42-24. With this one in the books, let's take a look back at some of the action. That was an exciting game. So let's not waste any time in getting to the highlights in our post-game show. Let's get started in this one early in the third quarter. Number 35 would let his big old offensive line pave the way on this one. Unfortunately, they could not capitalize on the play. Midway through the third, this time at the 30. Number 55 would snuff out a drive on this one as he's there to recover the fumble. Still midway through the third quarter, the Intimidators behind by 14. Number 3 would air it out on this one, and he would find his man. They climb back into the game, now down by 7. The Maulers, still midway through the third quarter. Number 5 connected with his man on this one. Unfortunately, the drive stopped shortly afterwards, and they had to punt it away. The Maulers up 21-14. Number 5 is back, and he's pretty much locked in on his wide receiver, and he hits him. A 34-yard touchdown for the home team. The Maulers now up by 14. The Intimidators now in the fourth quarter. The ball at the 41. Number 35 would get up ahead of steam, and then it was clear sailing from here. That set up a 35-yard field goal. Answering right back, the Maulers winning by 11. Number 11 came up with a big play as he was able to pull this one in. They've opened it up and now lead by 18. The Maulers, middle of the fourth, number 11 makes him pay here as he's running a deep route, and this ball is right where it needs to be. A 42-yard touchdown for the home team. The Maulers leading 42-17. Bickerstaff shows some great awareness here as he gets himself into position to pick this one off. After getting an interception, number 3 is back to throw as they want to air it out here, and this one is right on target. Unfortunately, they couldn't capitalize on the big play, and they turned the ball over on down. Still late in the fourth quarter, the Intimidators back by 25. Number 3 would drop back and put one right on the money. And that's how we'll round this one out. The Maulers win this one 42-24. Let's wrap it up by congratulating our 2K Sports player of the game.
Number 11 turned in yet another legendary outing. Well, he was the best player on the winning team. It's as simple as that. We'll see if he's able to keep up this high level of play in the games ahead.
For my partner, Peter O'Keefe, this is Dan Stevens saying goodbye until next time.
So a wrap-up of the SFL Championship game as the Minneapolis Maulers defeat the Orlando Intimidators 42-24. And initial thoughts on this game, Corky, for those that might have missed it and might be checking this out on YouTube. It was a close game, and the score was a little bit further than the game really showed throughout the first three quarters.
Yeah, the Maulers didn't break it open until the fourth quarter, but this game was much closer than the score indicates. I think, as a matter of fact, statistically speaking, they're almost dead even. But once again, the Maulers, Rocco Marconi, he just did his thing, and he just proved himself to be what he truly is, the MVP of the league.
The Maulers won this game with 12 first downs.
Incredible.
12 first downs to Orlando's 25. Just let that sink in. Minneapolis faced 11 third downs, but only converted 4 of them. That 36% third down conversion rate was lowest this season. So that's a testament to Orlando's defense, and they themselves, 8 of 15 on third down, had a nice day moving the ball. 57 passes for Marconi, 61 total plays for the Maulers. That 57 pass plays is also the lowest this year for the Maulers because Orlando was able to keep the ball away.
Yeah, Matsumoto, I mean, I bet you he's kicking himself in the locker room. There were some throws he wishes he could have had back because he makes a throw here or there, and this game could have turned out differently. But still, like I said, hats off to Minneapolis. They just continue to do what they've been doing all year.
And Orlando ran 87 plays, Minneapolis 61. You like to see the average around 65 plays a game. The shaving of 1 minute off the quarters next year is going to help with that, with the 12-minute quarters. But, I mean, you look at the Maulers and you look at Marconi's numbers, and, I mean, the Maulers only had the ball 61 plays. It's just the way they operate. Field position was exactly the same today. Neither team really, turnovers were really not the story in this game. Orlando had 28 minutes of time of possession. Minneapolis 22:45. And for the Maulers, that's their third worst time of possession by about a half a minute. So as you talked about earlier in this game, the time of possession was a huge factor in keeping us close.
Yeah. But what Minneapolis does is, and that's how they That's how they get around time of possession. They are extremely efficient when they do have the ball. Even though there were some stops that we didn't think Orlando was going to make today. They had several key stops that they should have been able to capitalize on. They didn't, and when they didn't, that efficiency of Minneapolis came out.
Ono Matsumoto had more completions today than Rocco Marconi. Would you ever have thought that?
Nope.
43 of 59, 410 yards, still 72% completion percentage. Marconi 35 of 47, 74% completion percentage. And I have to look back at my records. That is a season low for Rocco Marconi in percentage. There's no doubt about it. Orlando played this team better than anybody else.
Let's take that MVP back from Marconi.
I don't think so. 25 carries, 100 yards for Parker, but he did not reach the end zone. That was all Lorenzo Allen, 199 yards, 12 grabs, 3 scores. Ionojo Abaratsubo had one of the greatest days we've ever seen out of a wide receiver. In fact, a new league record. 398 yards, 16 receptions, 6 touchdowns. Not only is the 398 yards and 6 touchdowns a career high for Abaratsubo, but it's also a league record. And however you want to cut it, guy was unbelievable. 25 yards per catch.
Yeah. I mean, you could have easily given him, made him co-MVPs, him and Rocco.
Cooley 8 grabs for 120 yards. Cooley's season low coming into this game was 160 in receiving, and also at a season low in receptions. Parker 11, but only 31 yards on those 11 catches. They did a tremendous job on him in the open field. Isaac Perez 7 grabs for 58 yards. Very good game for the tight end. Coming into this game, his season high in receptions was 2.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. He was having a surprisingly good game.
Gunner 6 for 65. Miller 5 for 57 was kept rather quiet. Gunner, those 6 receptions on 11 targets. Defensively, Billy Joe Gatlin, fantastic day. 9 tackles, 2 assisted. Kaleka had 8 tackles, 2 assisted. That secondary, fantastic.
Yeah, they were off the chain. They were just off the chain. And that could have been some of the problems that Matsumoto was having. They were just playing outstanding back there in the secondary.
Lacoste, 7 tackles, 3 assisted. Dorsett, 7 tackles, 2 assisted. Little, with his 6 sacks. Unbelievable. I mean, just an unbelievable job today for a non-star to put pressure on Marconi. And if you don't get pressure on Marconi, this is not the game that it was.
No, it's not. It wouldn't have been this close. But I would have a little checked for drugs. I really would.
Broadway had 5 tackles, and another unsung hero today is the cornerback, Lane, for the non-star cornerback for the Maulers. He had 4 passes defended, guarding Thomas Gunner. A tremendous effort by Lane as well today. So that wraps it up. Don't forget that the SFL All-Star Game is next Sunday, 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern. We're not done with the Season 4 just yet. Season 5 is in June, but the SimulationFL.com website, along with the SFL update on YouTube, if you're not a subscriber to our YouTube, please subscribe. We'll have all the updates about the off-season process, about who's going where, who's signing the major deals, who's getting traded, who are the rookies, what are the new teams going to have on tap. Just a tremendous amount of information that's about to be thrown at you, so hopefully you stick with us before we get the 5th season kicked off here in June. 42-24, Minneapolis defeats Orlando. Corky, your final thoughts on the SFL season? Your favorite game, your favorite moment. How does it all shake out in your mind?
I just think the overall experience has been fun. I'm already excited for next season. I mean, I can't wait. I've had a blast, and I'm just looking forward to getting back in the booth with you next season.
From all of us at Wayland Corporate Field in Baltimore, Maryland, congratulations to the Minneapolis Maulers, undisputed 10-0 champions of the Simulation Football League. 42-24 over the Orlando Intimidators. For San Antonio Corky, I'm your play-by-play commentator, Cameron Irvine. It's been a pleasure being your broadcaster for this season, and we'll do it all again next week, one last time, before Season 5 kicks into full gear. Orlando loses by 18, they can hold their heads high. Minneapolis wins by 18. They did it. 42-24. See you on the flip side. Have a great weekend, everybody.